Chapter 1593. The injury isn't that serious. I'll refine a cauldron of 7 luminaries glory body sculpting pills later. After checking Qi Lian's injuries, Mo Qingyun's expression relaxed a bit, and he comforted Qi Lian. Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Qi Lian's face lit up with joy, and his expression became a bit more excited. So, you're saying that my severed arm still has a chance to be reborn? What's so difficult about that? Back then, you could have been reborn with a drop of blood. Now it's just a severed arm. In response to Qi Lian's worried words, Mo Qingyun smiled faintly and comforted him. After Mo Qingyun finished speaking, he instructed Qi Lian, "You can cultivate here in peace first. I will refine the medicinal pill for you now." After Mo Qingyun finished speaking, he got up and left. After leaving Qi Lian's place, Mo Qingyun went to see the others and gave them some cultivation materials. After taking care of some matters, Mo Qingyun took out the 9 cranes returning cauldron and prepared to use it to refine pills. Recently, due to some delays, I forgot about refining the 9 cranes returning cauldron. Looking at the 9 cranes returning cauldron, Mo Qingyun smiled faintly and couldn't help but mock himself. If others heard Mo Qingyun's words, they would probably spit out blood from shock. He actually forgot about a quasi-saint cauldron. Wasn't he a bit too careless? Mo Qingyun muttered to himself and began refining the 9 cranes returning cauldron. He released his immortal spiritual force and seeped it into the cauldron. As the immortal spiritual force seeped into the cauldron began to be refined bit by bit. What surprised Mo Qingyun was that when he refined the 9 cranes returning cauldron, he discovered that the cauldron's interior contained a large amount of medicinal spiritual force. It seems that when the 9 cranes returning cauldron refined pills in the past, it absorbed a lot of medicinal power from immortal herbs. Mo Qingyun revealed a look of understanding when he discovered the situation with the 9 cranes returning cauldron. He did not find it strange at all. This situation was similar to how people used porcelain pots to stew bone broth, and the fragrance of the broth would remain. Discovering the medicinal spiritual energy in the 9 crane returning cauldron, Mo Qingyun naturally would not let it go and immediately began refining it. This was the purest form of immortal spiritual energy. The effect of refining and absorbing it was much better than refining immortal stones. As Mo Qingyun refined the immortal spiritual energy, the aura emanating from his body continued to grow stronger. Middle stage major star, late stage major star, peak major star. 9 cranes returning cauldron refined 30%, 40%, 50%. As time passed, Mo Qingyun's refinement of the 9 cranes homing cauldron became more thorough, allowing his cultivation to improve. After an unknown amount of time, the 9 crane homing cauldron was finally refined by Mo Qingyun. At the same time, Mo Qingyun's cultivation also stopped increasing and stabilized at the peak of the Great Star level. The peak of the Great Star level, just 1 step away from the constellation level. Sensing his cultivation, Mo Qingyun looked disappointed. It's a pity that I didn't break through to the constellation level right away. Looks like I'll have to find another opportunity in the future. Mo Qingyun murmured to himself. He stopped thinking about it and took out the pill refining materials one by one. Since the 9 cranes returning cauldron has been refined, it's time to refine the pill for Qi Lian. After taking out the materials for refining the 7 luminaries pure resplendent body shaping pill, Mo Qingyun placed them into the 9 cranes returning cauldron to refine and purify them. After that, the materials for refining the 7 luminaries pure resplendent body shaping pill were refined and purified by Mo Qingyun, turning into drops of pure medicinal liquid. The 7 luminaries pure resplendent body shaping pill was not a powerful pill. With Mo Qingyun's current level of pill refining it was not difficult at all. As time passed, the 7 luminaries pure resplendent body shaping pill gradually took shape. Roughly 2 days later, under Mo Qingyun's continuous refining, the 7 luminaries pure resplendent body shaping pill was finally refined successfully. After the 7 luminaries pure resplendent body shaping pill was refined successfully, a strange scene condensed above Mo Qingyun. The pill image has appeared. Looking at the pill image above him, Mo Qingyun revealed a pleasantly surprised smile and hurriedly opened the pill cauldron. After that, Mo Qingyun raised his hand and beckoned, taking out the 7 luminaries pure resplendent body shaping pill. Supreme grade quality, not bad. Looking at the 7 luminaries pure resplendent body shaping pill in his hand, Mo Qingyun nodded his head in satisfaction. He was quite satisfied with the quality of the medicinal pill. Seeing that the medicinal pill was refined successfully, Mo Qingyun did not delay any longer and immediately delivered it to Qi Lian. After a short while, Mo Qingyun arrived at Qi Lian's place and saw Qi Lian currently cultivating. "Master, you're here." Sensing Mo Qingyun's arrival, Qi Lian withdrew from his cultivation and stood up with a pleasantly surprised expression. Seeing Qi Lian withdraw from his cultivation, Mo Qingyun did not say anything more to him and directly handed the medicinal pill to him and said, "This is the 7 luminaries pure resplendent body shaping pill. If you refine it, it can let you recover your severed arm." "Yes." Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Qi Lian consumed the 7 luminaries pure resplendent body shaping pill without the slightest worry that there was a problem with the medicinal pill. After interacting with Mo Qingyun for many years, Qi Lian's trust in Mo Qingyun was already ingrained into his bones. After consuming the 7 luminaries pure resplendent body shaping pill, Qi Lian did not speak anymore and wholeheartedly immersed himself in refining the medicinal pill. Before long, a wave of pure vitality emitted from Qi Lian's body. Immediately, Qi Lian's severed arm started to grow bit by bit. Not only that, but when Qi Lian's arm regenerated, his aura also rose bit by bit. Qi Lian's cultivation is about to break through. Sensing the change in Qi Lian's aura, Mo Qingyun's expression was shocked. He was somewhat surprised by this situation. Seeing this, Mo Qingyun took out an expert's corpse and raised his hand to extract the essence blood from the corpse. After extracting the expert's essence blood, Mo Qingyun forcefully injected it into Qi Lian's body. Since Qi Lian's cultivation method was similar to Mo Zai's, Mo Qingyun knew how to help him refine the essence blood. After forcefully injecting the essence blood into Qi Lian's body, Mo Qingyun released a wave of immortal spiritual energy that immediately seeped into Qi Lian's body. Then, Mo Qingyun controlled this wave of immortal spiritual energy to help Qi Lian refine the essence blood and absorb the spiritual energy contained within. With Mo Qingyun's help, Qi Lian's aura began to rise steadily, and so did his cultivation. Before long, Qi Lian's aura became much more stable. There shouldn't be any problems now. Seeing that Qi Lian's aura had stabilized, Mo Qingyun's expression relaxed. He knew that Qi Lian's breakthrough would not be a problem. Although he knew that Qi Lian's breakthrough would not be a problem, Mo Qingyun did not leave immediately. He continued to guard Qi Lian by his side. "Thank you, Master." After about 2 days, Qi Lian finally exited from his cultivation. He cupped his hands in thanks with a pleasantly surprised smile. "There's no need for such words of gratitude between you and me." Chapter 1594. What powerful corpses! Sensing the aura of these corpses, Qi Lian was shocked. His eyes flashed with deep respect. He was sure that if these experts were alive, they could easily kill him with one finger. "Sit down first. I'll help you remodel your meridians." After handing the corpses to Qi Lian, Mo Qingyun instructed Qi Lian to strengthen his meridians. Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Qi Lian sat down cross-legged and let Mo Qingyun remodel his meridians. A stream of pure immortal spiritual energy burst out from Mo Qingyun's index finger and quickly entered Qi Lian's body. Then, Mo Qingyun controlled this immortal spiritual energy to remodel the meridians in Qi Lian's body. Under the molding of Mo Qingyun's immortal spiritual energy, Qi Lian's meridians were penetrated and widened bit by bit, resulting in an earth-shattering qualitative change. When Qi Lian's meridians were strengthened, the aura he emitted also began to change significantly. From this, it could be seen that Mo Qingyun's remolding of Qi Lian's meridians had an obvious effect. After spending a few hours, Mo Qingyun's remolding of Qi Lian's meridians was finally completed. After finishing Qi Lian's meridians, Mo Qingyun was clearly a little tired. It seemed that he had spent a lot of energy on this. After the remolding just now, there should be no hindrance in using your new arm. After withdrawing the immortal spiritual energy from Qi Lian's body, Mo Qingyun instructed Qi Lian in a tired tone. Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Qi Lian waved his new arm and said with an excited expression, "Thank you, Master. When this old servant raises his cultivation, I will definitely fight for Master again." Good. Hearing Qi Lian's words, Mo Qingyun nodded and left Qi Lian's place. Qi Lian revealed a grateful gaze as he watched Mo Qingyun's departing figure. With a determined expression, he said in a deep voice, "Master, with this old servant's current strength, although I am unable to fight for you, this old servant will definitely help you take care of the Mo clan." After Qi Lian finished speaking, he no longer hesitated and began to refine the corpse that Mo Qingyun had given him. After leaving Qi Lian's place, Mo Qingyun returned to his own cultivation area. He sat down cross-legged and adjusted his exhausted state of mind. If it wasn't for his strong spiritual power, he would have fainted when he opened the tendons for Qi Lian Su. As Mo Qingyun started to cultivate, his exhausted mind power started to recover bit by bit. While Mo Qingyun was recuperating, Gulanshan rode the lightning cloudy crane to the path of immortality. When Gulanshan arrived at the immortal path, he was not in a hurry to call for Mo Qingyun. Instead, he went to meet up with Mo Zai and the others. After searching for a while, Gulanshan easily found Mo Zai. Now, there were a few people with low cultivation beside Mo Zai. It was Tan Linjan and the others. True self, I found Tan Linjan and the others. After Mo Zai met up with Gulanshan, he sent a message to Mo Qingyun to report that he'd found Tan Linjan and the others. Mo Qingyun's expression changed slightly when he heard Mo Zai's message. He opened his eyes in surprise and said, "Mo Zai is quite efficient. She found Master and the others so quickly." Mo Qingyun smiled faintly as he muttered to himself. With a flash, he left the five-directional tower. After Mo Qingyun left the five-directional pagoda, he exchanged identities with Mo Zai and went to meet Master Tan and the others. Not long after, Mo Qingyun saw Tan Linjan and the others in a tent. They all looked exhausted. It seemed that Tan Linjan and the others had suffered a lot during their escape. "Master, Patriarch Yao Lin, Sect Master Yao." When he saw Tan Linjan and the others, Mo Qingyun greeted them and walked into the tent to sit down. "Qingyun, we've already discussed and decided to follow you to the wasteland continent." Before Mo Qingyun arrived, Mo Zai had followed his instructions and asked Yao Lin and the others about their plans. Now, Yao Lin and the others had made a decision after some consideration. Mo Qingyun smiled in satisfaction when he heard Tan Linjan and the others reply. He said, "Master, the competition in the wasteland continent is extremely great. Some of the less talented disciples might not be able to adapt to the environment there. Choose some of the more talented disciples and bring them along." All right. Tan Linjan and the others immediately understood Mo Qingyun's intentions. They understood what Mo Qingyun meant. Mo Qingyun nodded when he saw Tan Linjan and the others' reaction. He said, "We'll set off for the wasteland continent after you've chosen your disciples." Tan Linjan and the others did not hesitate when they heard Mo Qingyun's instructions and immediately went to choose suitable disciples. About a day later, Tan Linjan and the others finished choosing their disciples. Of course, they gave a lot of cultivation resources when they dismissed some of the less talented disciples. "Since you've finished choosing your disciples, I'll send you into the five-directional small pagoda and set off for the wasteland continent. Mo Qingyun sent Tan Linjian and the others into the 5-directional small pagoda and set off for the wasteland continent. The journey to the wasteland continent was undoubtedly much easier than coming to the immortal path. It was smooth sailing all the way. After returning to the wasteland continent, Mo Qingyun and the others did not stop and rushed to the heavenly demon talisman stronghold. After about 5 days, Mo Qingyun arrived at the heavenly demon talisman stronghold. Qingyun, you're back. Qingyun, did your trip to the heavenly soul continent go smoothly? Junior brother Mo, have you finished your important matters? When Shering Feng and the others saw Mo Qingyun return, they were all excited and hurried to welcome Mo Qingyun. Surrounded by the crowd, Mo Qingyun said as he walked, "Everything has been settled. I brought all my family and disciples here." After Mo Qingyun finished speaking, he moved Yao Honghu and the others out of the 5-directional small pagoda. 6th level of the martial path, 7th level of the martial path, 1st level of the sky, human realm, 2nd level of the sky, human realm. Sensing the cultivation levels of Yao Honghu and the others, some of the heavenly demon talisman stronghold residents were shocked. They did not know Mo Qingyun's background, so it was understandable that they were shocked by the cultivation levels of Yao Honghu and the others. Stronghold Master, these are the disciples of the heavenly demon talisman stronghold. This is Patriarch Yao Lin. After moving everyone out of the 5-directional small pagoda, Mo Qingyun introduced everyone to let everyone get familiar with each other. Junior pays his respects to the seniors of the upper sect. Seeing Yao Liyun and the others in front of them, Yao Lin and the others showed a respectful expression and bowed to Yao Liyun and the others. They were of the same origin as the heavenly demon talisman stronghold. Now that they saw Yao Liyun and the others, they naturally had to bow as a junior. There's no need to be so polite. We're all family in the future. Seeing the actions of Yao Lin and the others, Yao Liyun and the others smiled faintly and hurriedly waved their hands at Yao Lin and the others. After a while, after Mo Qingyun's introduction, everyone got to know each other. Chapter 1595. While Yao Liyun was settling everyone down, Mo Qingyun was also settling everyone in the heavenly devil talisman stronghold. Because the cultivation of the Mo clan's people was relatively low, Mo Qingyun didn't let them live with everyone else. He first let them live alone. After settling everyone down, Mo Qingyun and the rest gathered together to discuss the future development of the heavenly devil talisman stronghold. Now that there were dangers lurking in the wild continent, it was impossible to not make some preparations in advance. In Yao Liyun's wooden house, Mo Qingyun and the others sat down. Everyone spoke freely, sharing their thoughts. Qingyun, now that the floating dragon ancient kingdom is in chaos, I feel that with your strength, you can definitely rule the floating dragon ancient kingdom. I don't think this is appropriate. If Qingyun rules the floating dragon ancient kingdom, it will definitely attract the attention of the wind lightning profound dynasty and put Qingyun in the eye of the storm. That's right. Our heavenly devil talisman stronghold is mixed with the immortal race and the god race. If the wind lightning profound dynasty finds out, it will indeed be a big problem. We shouldn't rush the matter of ruling the floating dragon ancient kingdom. What we need to do now is to bide our time and accumulate strength. After a simple discussion, everyone had different opinions about Mo Qingyun ruling the floating dragon ancient kingdom. Everyone, listen to me first. After hearing everyone's explanation, Mo Qingyun interrupted everyone. I don't intend to think about ruling the floating dragon ancient kingdom for the time being. I plan to make a trip to the 1,000 illusions immediately. 1,000 illusions? Is that the 72nd strongest race on the 10,000 ancient races board? Yao Liyun and the rest were shocked to hear Mo Qingyun's thoughts. They didn't expect Mo Qingyun to have such a plan. In their opinion, even if Mo Qingyun was protected by Gulan Shan and the rest, it was still too dangerous for him to go to the 1,000 illusions. If Yao Liyun and the rest knew that the 1,000 illusions' true strength was comparable to the top 10 races on the 10,000 ancient races board, they would be shocked. They should be even more shocked now. I'm heading to 1,000 illusions because I have something important to do. I plan to leave soon. Mo Qingyun didn't explain too much about the shock of Yao Liyun and the others. He just showed a firm attitude. Seeing Mo Qingyun's firm attitude, Yao Liyun and the others didn't try to persuade him. They just warned Mo Qingyun. After discussing with Yao Liyun and the others for a while and explaining some matters regarding the Heavenly Devil Talisman Stronghold, Mo Qingyun left for the 1,000 illusions. As Mo Qingyun was worried about the safety of the Heavenly Devil Talisman Stronghold, he did not bring any other Dayuo Golden Immortal experts with him to the 1,000 illusions, except for Gulanshan. Of course, perfected Golden Immortal Ghosts were an exception. Gulanshan, how long will it take to reach the territory of 1,000 illusions? After leaving the Heavenly Devil Talisman Stronghold, Mo Qingyun asked Gulanshan how long it would take to reach there. After hearing Mo Qingyun's question, Gulanshan pondered for a while and said, "Master, with the lightning cloudy crane's flying speed, it will take at least 2 months." 2 months? Mo Qingyun was shocked. He was a little surprised that the 1,000 illusions was so far away. He quickly pondered and said to himself, "If that's the case, I can make use of this time to break through to the constellation realm." After thinking about it, Mo Qingyun no longer hesitated and entered the 5 directions small pagoda in a flash. After Mo Qingyun entered the 5 directions small pagoda, Gulanshan rode on the lightning cloudy crane and rushed towards the territory of 1,000 illusions. To break through to the constellation realm, I need to merge with another star. I'll comprehend the star first. After thinking about it, Mo Qingyun no longer hesitated and immediately summoned the Light Gate Martial Spirit. After Mo Qingyun summoned the Light Gate Martial Spirit, it emitted an ancient aura and connected with the vast starry sky. Seeing this, Mo Qingyun released his soul power and allowed his consciousness to enter the Light Gate Martial Spirit. After his consciousness entered the Light Gate Martial Spirit, flashing stars appeared in front of Mo Qingyun's consciousness. Mo Qingyun chose to ignore the flashing stars in front of him and allowed his consciousness to fly deeper into the starry sky. Under normal circumstances, the stars that were compatible with the constellation realm would be at least the 21st heaven. Only a small number of people would choose stars below the 21st heaven to merge with them and form their own constellation realm. As Mo Qingyun's consciousness went deeper into the starry sky, the pressure that his consciousness felt became stronger and stronger. 18th heaven, 19th heaven, 24th heaven, 25th heaven. Unknowingly, Mo Qingyun's consciousness reached the 30th heaven, but he did not stop there. I can still hold on. Mo Qingyun gritted his teeth and endured the pressure on his consciousness as he continued to fly into the endless starry sky. After a while, Mo Qingyun arrived at the 31st heaven and saw a powerful star. Mo Qingyun could clearly feel that the star's aura at the 31st heaven was several times stronger than the one at the 30th heaven. As expected of a star at the 31st heaven, its aura is incomparable to an ordinary star. Sensing the aura from the surrounding stars, Mo Qingyun was pleasantly surprised and looked forward to the stars behind him. Then, Mo Qingyun's consciousness endured the pressure and continued to go deeper into the endless starry sky. After an unknown period of time, Mo Qingyun's endurance reached its limit and he could no longer go deeper. The 33rd heaven, even if I just entered the 33rd heaven, it's enough. Seeing that he had arrived at the 33rd heaven, Mo Qingyun did not care too much about whether he had gone deeper into the 33rd heaven or not. Although there were not many stars of the 33rd heaven, each of them had an extremely powerful aura. As long as Mo Qingyun could fuse with one of them, the star position he condensed would be extremely powerful. Golden-winged rock star can obtain the power of the mythical rock, invincible in speed and defense. Wind-fire star can borrow the power of the great Tao of wind and fire to create a world of wind and fire with a wave of the hand. life-seizing Sirius star, can transform into a Sirius and hide between heaven and earth, devouring everything between heaven and earth. For a time, information about powerful stars entered Mo Qingyun's mind. Which one should I choose? Looking at these powerful stars before him, Mo Qingyun revealed a hesitant expression, considering which one to choose. Obviously, each of these stars was very powerful, and the star position they condensed would not be weak. Roar! Just as Mo Qingyun was hesitating, a deep dragon roar came from the distant starry sky. A star with a dragon's shadow was flashing in the starry sky, as if it was venting the loneliness in its heart. What star is that? Discovering the star in the distant starry sky, Missouri Qingyun revealed a curious expression and flew over while enduring the pressure. Hold on, I must hold on. Sensing the surrounding pressure, Mo Qingyun endured the dizziness in his head and flew towards the star with the dragon's shadow. Chapter 1596. Taking a closer look, it turned out that the dragon shadow was not a complete dragon shadow. Although its head looked like a dragon's head, its tail looked like a carp's tail. The dragon shadow before him looked like a carp that had evolved halfway into a dragon. Of course, Mo Qingyun, who was in a daze, had no idea what the dragon shadow looked like. While Mo Qingyun was in a daze, the projection of the light door martial spirit suddenly condensed in front of him. When the projection of the light door martial spirit was formed, it emitted a mysterious power that shone on the dragon shadow's body. Roar! When the dragon shadow was shone on by the projection of the light door martial spirit, it let out a carefree roar and twisted its body rapidly. Soon, the dragon shadow broke free from the restraints of the star and flew towards the projection of the light door martial spirit. When the dragon shadow passed through the projection of the light door martial spirit, it turned into a complete dragon and returned to the star. Roar! When the dragon shadow completed its transformation, it emitted a mysterious power that pierced through the starry sky and shone on Mo Qingyun's body. When the power was added to Mo Qingyun's body, a pure power of incense started to gather outside of Mo Qingyun's body. When the power of incense started to gather, Mo Qingyun's star position flew out of his body and merged with the power of incense. Gradually, a dragon shadow started to condense around Mo Qingyun's star position, emitting a powerful dragon's aura. As the dragon shadow condensed, the aura emanating from Mo Qingyun's body started to rise rapidly. Looking at Mo Qingyun's appearance, it seemed that his cultivation was about to break through. After an unknown period of time, Mo Qingyun rubbed his forehead and gradually regained consciousness. My star position has been condensed. Is this the star with the dragon shadow? When he realized that his star position had been condensed, Mo Qingyun was shocked. He felt that it was a little unbelievable. Under normal circumstances, if a cultivator wanted to condense a star position, he would have to spend a lot of effort. He, on the other hand, had fallen asleep in a daze, and his star position had been condensed. This was simply too good. Forget it. Let's see what kind of power this star position has. Mo Qingyun threw away the distracting thoughts in his mind and immediately brought out the star position to see what kind of abilities it had. Under Mo Qingyun's control, a mysterious force was emitted from the star position and attached to his body. When this energy was added to Mo Qingyun's body, Mo Qingyun felt his aura instantly become fierce and sharp. Soon after, Mo Qingyun shot out a finger, shooting out an oppressive finger light. Bang, bang, bang. Under Mo Qingyun's finger, a hole was instantly pierced through space, tearing a hole in it. So strong. Seeing the power of his finger, Mo Qingyun was shocked. He did not expect the power of his finger to be so great. Mo Qingyun could feel that the power of his finger was not weaker than that of a Golden Celestial Realm expert. Even some Golden Celestial Realm experts, before they had comprehended the power of Tao, could not even match the power of his finger. In this way, in terms of attack power, I am comparable to a Golden Celestial Realm expert. Seeing the power of his finger, Mo Qingyun's face immediately became wild with joy, and he became excited. If he was not in the five-direction small tower, he would have found a golden celestial realm expert and fought him to his heart's content. The power of the dragon shadow star position has the power of penetration and tearing. After analyzing the power of his finger, Mo Qingyun had a clear understanding of the power of the new star position. The power of the new star position should be in terms of the power of Metal Dao, which had improved his attack power. Since the star position has been condensed, it is time for me to make a breakthrough in my cultivation. After thinking about it, Mo Qingyun did not hesitate and immediately made a breakthrough in his cultivation. Then, Mo Qingyun took out a large number of immortal stones and piled them up into a few hills around him. Devouring Gate. Mo Qingyun took out the immortal stones. Without wasting any time, he immediately used the Devouring Gate. Under the absorption of the Devouring Gate, the immortal spiritual power contained in the immortal stones was immediately extracted. The extracted immortal spiritual power was then converted by the Devouring Gate and transferred into Mo Qingyun's body. Sensing the immortal spiritual power entering his body, Mo Qingyun did not dare to hesitate and immediately refined the immortal spiritual power. As the immortal spiritual power was refined, Mo Qingyun's aura began to grow stronger and stronger, gradually rising towards the constellation position. The peak of the major constellation position, the limit of the major constellation position, the quasi-constellation position, the half-step constellation position, boom. A few days later, Mo Qingyun's aura suddenly rose and a terrifying spiritual power erupted. Under the impact of this spiritual power, a spiritual power wave was formed around Mo Qingyun and a loud boom was heard. At the same time, a spiritual power vortex formed around Mo Qingyun and wrapped him in the middle. The constellation position. Sensing that his cultivation had broken through, Mo Qingyun's face revealed an ecstatic smile, and he retreated from his cultivation. However, Mo Qingyun only paused for a moment before he once again immersed himself in his cultivation, stabilizing the realm he had just broken through. Then, time passed little by little as Mo Qingyun cultivated. After a long time, Master, the lightning cloud crane's cultivation is about to break through. I'm afraid we can't continue our journey. While Mo Qingyun was stabilizing his cultivation, Gu Lanshan's voice appeared in his mind. Hearing Gu Lanshan's voice, Mo Qingyun's expression was shocked. He opened his eyes in surprise and said, "The lightning cloud crane's cultivation is about to break through." This is a bit surprising. Once the lightning cloud crane's cultivation breaks through, its flying speed will become even faster. It won't take much time. Thinking that the lightning cloud crane's flying speed would reach a new level after breaking through, Mo Qingyun was looking forward to it. The peak of the early constellation position. My cultivation has basically stabilized. There's no need to continue cultivating. Sensing his cultivation, Mo Qingyun revealed a satisfied smile and did not plan to continue cultivating. Then, Mo Qingyun's figure flashed and left the five-directional pagoda. Mo Qingyun left the five-directional pagoda and came to Gu Lanshan's side. He noticed that the lightning cloud crane's aura was unstable. This was a sign that it was about to break through. Seeing this, Mo Qingyun did not hesitate and immediately sent the lightning cloud crane into the five-directional pagoda so that it could peacefully break through its cultivation. Master, without the lightning cloud crane, our speed will be a lot slower. What should we do now? Seeing that Mo Qingyun had sent the lightning cloud crane into the five-directional pagoda, Gu Lanshan asked Mo Qingyun's plan. Hearing Gu Lanshan's question, Mo Qingyun frowned slightly and said in a deep voice, "Since the lightning cloud crane is about to break through, we don't have to rush. Let's find a city to stay in first." Chapter 1597. Several hours later. Clang, clang, clang. While Mo Qingyun and Li Kun were flying, the sound of intense fighting entered their ears. Hearing this fighting sound, Mo Qingyun frowned slightly and flew towards the source of the fighting sound curiously. He saw several perfected immortal realm youths engaged in a frenzied battle with an enormous demon beast. At first glance, this demon beast looked a bit like a wild boar, but it had a pair of wings on its back, allowing it to move very nimbly. Brotherly Ming, you take everyone and retreat first. I'll stall this golden rock black wind boar. Big Brotherly Coon, this golden rock black wind boar is very strong. You have to be careful. Big Brotherly Coon, we're not leaving. I'll deal with the golden rock black wind boar with you. Lien, don't mess around. Leave with Li Ming immediately. Under the pursuit of the golden rock black wind boar, Li Kun and the rest were all flustered and pale. Looking at the current situation, facing the pursuit of this golden rock black wind boar, Li Kun and the rest were probably unable to escape unscathed. A golden rock black wind boar at the golden body stage is a pretty good sparring partner. Looking at the golden rock black wind boar ahead, Mo Qingyun revealed a pleasantly surprised smile, wanting to have a good contest with it. His cultivation had just broken through and just happened to lack a suitable sparring partner. He did not expect to encounter one so soon. Master, be careful. This golden rock black wind boar is not weak. Seeing the golden rock black wind boar ahead, Gulanshan revealed a solemn expression and hurriedly reminded Mo Qingyun. As Gulanshan's words fell, he raised his palm and made a posture of wanting to kill the golden rock black wind boar. Gulanshan, you don't have to do anything. Let me deal with it. Seeing Gulanshan's actions, Mo Qingyun immediately spoke to stop him. His figure flashed and charged towards the golden rock black wind boar. Seeing Mo Qingyun charging towards the golden rock black wind boar, Gulanshan's expression was immediately startled, and he wanted to speak up to stop Mo Qingyun. However, before he could speak, Mo Qingyun had already charged out. He wanted to stop it, but it was already too late. Shaoza, Heavenly Spirit Finger. Mo Qingyun's figure flashed, arriving in front of the golden rock mystic wind boar, and blasted out a finger without the slightest hesitation. Instantly, a surge of immortal spiritual energy gathered on Mo Qingyun's finger. Very quickly, a finger ray that resembled a sharp sword shot out from Mo Qingyun's little finger. Bang! The finger light's attack speed was extremely fast, striking the golden rock mystic wind boar in a blink of an eye, blasting the golden rock mystic wind boar back continuously. So strong. Seeing the golden rock mystic wine pig being repelled, Li Kun and the rest all had startled expressions, their gazes looking towards Mo Qingyun in awe. After a brief moment of shock, Li Kun did not dare to be negligent in the slightest. He immediately cupped his hands and thanked Mo Qingyun. Many thanks to young master for saving me. All of you back off. In response to Li Kun's words of gratitude, Mo Qingyun responded indifferently and didn't say much to him. As Mo Qingyun's words fell, he turned into an afterimage and charged towards the golden rock mystic wind pig again. Seeing Mo Qingyun's action, Li Kun and the rest did not dare to hesitate, hurriedly retreating to the back. Young Lord's strength is so strong. Just from the power of the attack alone, it seems to be a little stronger than the golden rock mystic wind pig. Seeing the combat strength that Mo Qingyun displayed, Gulanshan revealed a shocked expression and could not help but sigh emotionally in his heart. One had to know that the strength of this golden rock mystic wind pig in front of them had reached the level of golden immortal. Roar! Facing Mo Qingyun's powerful attack, the golden rock mystic wind pig roared continuously, flapping the wings on its back with extreme speed. Soon, the golden rock mystic wind pig's movement speed surpassed Mo Qingyun. Traceless demon shadow, rushing thunderwind path. Facing the golden rock mystic wind pig's speed suppression, Mo Qingyun no longer held back his strength and immediately urged his speed to the limit. As Mo Qingyun's speed was urged to the limit, his movement speed also became not much inferior compared to the golden rock mystic wind pig. What fast speed to actually be able to compete with the golden rock mystic wind pig. Who the hell is this young master? His strength is actually powerful to this extent. If we ask this young master for help, perhaps we can seize the ancient starry sky key. This young master's strength is so powerful. He must have an extremely shocking identity. He might not help us. Don't worry about this. We'll just ask later. Whether he agrees or not will depend on luck. Seeing the strength that Mo Qingyun displayed, Li Kun and the rest conversed for a while, revealing expressions of anticipation. Following that, Mo Qingyun continuously displayed powerful strength under everyone's gazes. About 15 minutes later, roar under Mo Qingyun's attack. The golden rock mystic wind pig gave a blood-curdling cry and died under Mo Qingyun's finger, killing the golden rock mystic wind pig with one finger. Mo Qingyun's brows furrowed slightly as he summarized the gains of this battle. From the battle just now, under the situation where I don't execute divine abilities, I can fight with golden body, sculpting powerhouses. But to kill them, I still need to expend quite a bit of strength. As for dealing with people with higher cultivation, I'm afraid that I'll have to execute various divine abilities. Looking at it this way, my current overall strength should be comparable to golden body, sculpting powerhouses. After a short period of thinking, Mo Qingyun had a clear understanding of his current strength. Through the battle with the golden rock mystic wind pig, having an understanding of his own strength, Mo Qingyun did not want to stay any longer. Gulan-shan, let's go. Mo Qingyun instructed Gulan-shan, then turned around and prepared to leave, ignoring Li Kun and the others beside him. Now that they wanted Mo Qingyun to help, Li Kun and the others naturally would not let Mo Qingyun leave. Young master, please wait. Seeing that Mo Qingyun was about to leave, Li Kun's expression panicked, and he immediately shouted to Mo Qingyun. Hearing Li Kun shout, Mo Qingyun frowned slightly, turned his head to look at Li Kun, and asked, "What's the matter?" In order to thank young master for saving us, we would like to invite young master into the clan to repay young master's life-saving grace. Under Mo Qingyun's gaze, Li Kun felt a strong pressure and explained to Mo Qingyun in a flustered tone. With Mo Qingyun's eyesight, he could naturally see that this was not Li Kun's true thoughts. There's no need to repay. You all can go back. Towards Li Kun's invitation, Mo Qingyun shook his head and flatly declined. Young master, please listen to me. Seeing that Mo Qingyun refused his invitation, Li Kun's expression immediately panicked, and he no longer concealed anything from Mo Qingyun. He said, "It's like this. My clan and the other clans are currently fighting over an ancient key. I would like to ask young master to lend us a hand." Oh, Mo Qingyun revealed a curious expression, becoming interested in Li Kun's words. He said, "What's the exact situation? Tell me in detail." Young master, please. Seeing that Mo Qingyun was interested, Li Kun made an inviting gesture, indicating for Mo Qingyun to chat as they walked. Chapter 1598. Not long ago, my tribe and a few other tribes discovered an ancient cave at the same time and obtained many treasures from it. As they walked, Li Kun recounted the entire story to Mo Qingyun without missing a single detail. The gist of it was that Snowflake, where Li Kun was from, had discovered an ancient cave with the other 3 tribes. The 4 tribes had obtained many ancient treasure from the cave, but there was only one ancient key that the 4 tribes could not allocate. Because of this, the 4 clans thought of a way. They planned to use a competition between the younger generation to determine the ownership of this key. In this competition, each tribe could use their own means to invite powerful external aid to help. The Snowflake, silver-haired deer tribe was well aware of the intentions of the other 3 tribes. They knew that they had powerful reinforcements. After knowing the suggestion of the other 3 tribes, Snowflake naturally objected. However, due to the rule of majority rule, the Snowflake silver-haired deer tribe's objection was meaningless. Therefore, when Li Kun saw Mo Qingyun's strength, he had the idea of asking Mo Qingyun for help. So that's how it is. After listening to Li Kun's account, Mo Qingyun had a clear understanding of the general situation. This was not a difficult matter for him. On the contrary, this was extremely good news for Mo Qingyun. He had been worrying about where to find suitable sparring partners, But who would have thought that a large group would come all of a sudden? Snowflake was not very far away, and with Li Kun and the rest leading the way, Mo Qingyun arrived in a short while. Look, there's an outsider here. He's not a spy from the other three tribes, is he? I don't think so. He was brought here by Li Kun, so he shouldn't be related to the other three tribes. Looking at Li Kun now, he seems to be planning to bring them to the clan hall. That outsider looks so handsome. Let's follow him and take a look. These women immediately lose their minds when they see a pretty boy. When Mo Qingyun walked into Snowflake, some of the young men in the tribe looked at him with hostility. It was not their fault. In this critical period, Mo Qingyun's sudden visit to Snowflake made it easy for them to overthink. After a while, under Li Kun's lead, Mo Qingyun walked into a hall. Leader, it is said that the Chui-wood scorpion-tail wolf tribe found the genius of the dragon horse golden crab tribe, Anopheles crab. The green lantern silver-eyed snake tribe also found a powerful helper. It seems to be Li Shan of the two-headed dragon tribe. The red eagle head tribe seems to invite the genius of the iron fire earth dragon tribe. Every single one of these lads is extremely powerful. They can even fight against a golden immortal stage expert. When Mo Qingyun walked into the main hall, a series of heavy voices entered his ears. They can all fight with the golden celestial stage. This is interesting. Hearing the words of the people in the hall, Mo Qingyun's expression changed. He was looking forward to the competition. In Mo Qingyun's opinion, as long as the opponent had not reached the great golden body stage, the stronger the better. The more powerful the opponent was, the more likely he could detect their strength. Li Kun greets the leader and elders. Leading Mo Qingyun into the main hall, Li Kun had a respectful expression on his face as he hurriedly bowed to everyone. When Li Kun bowed respectfully, Mo Qingyun and Li Shan also cupped their hands politely. No need to be so polite. Seeing Li Kun's action, the leader of Snowflake, Li Jin, waved his hand with a faint smile. Soon after, Li Jin revealed a curious gaze as he turned his attention to Mo Qingyun and Li Qiye, asking, Li Kun, who are these two people? Why have they come to our tribe? He could sense that Gulan Shan's aura was restrained and powerful. His strength should be above theirs. As for Gulan Shan's specific stage, Li Jin could not sense it. He estimated that he should be above the golden celestial stage. This is Mr. Mo, and Senior Gu is his follower. Hearing Li Jin's inquiry, Li Kun immediately introduced Mo Qingyun and Li Shan, pointing out Gu Lanshan's identity. In Li Kun's opinion, since Li Jin knew Gu Lanshan's identity, he should know that Mo Qingyun was not an ordinary person. In this way, Li Jin and the others would not neglect Mo Qingyun, a genius who could be protected by a golden celestial of the great golden celestial stage was naturally not a simple person. Follower? A follower of a golden celestial of the great golden celestial stage? Knowing the relationship between Mo Qingyun and Li Shan, Li Jin and the others narrowed their eyes and looked at Mo Qingyun with awe. A golden celestial of the great golden celestial stage was definitely an ancestor-level existence in Snowflake. Now, such a terrifying existence was only Mo Qingyun's follower. It showed that Mo Qingyun's identity was not simple. Both of you, please take a seat. Knowing that Mo Qingyun's identity was not simple, Li Jin did not dare to delay and got up and gestured for them to take a seat. Although Gu Lanshan was only a follower, with Gu Lanshan's powerful cultivation, Li Jin did not dare to slight him in the slightest. Seeing Li Jin's action, Mo Qingyun nodded indifferently and sat down on the chair casually. I wonder if the two of you have any instructions for us in the clan? Thinking of Mo Qingyun's identity and Snowflake situation, Li Jin was even more polite to Mo Qingyun. Hearing Li Jin's question, Mo Qingyun did not beat around the bush and directly said, I was invited by young Master Li Kun to help Snowflake in the battle with the geniuses of the other three clans. External help? Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Li Jin and the others were stunned. They could not think of such a thing. Then, they looked at Li Kun in confusion, hoping that Li Kun would give them a satisfactory answer. In their opinion, Mo Qingyun had just broken through to the constellation level. With his cultivation, his strength was probably not enough. When he saw the disdainful gazes of Li Jin and the others, Li Kun knew that they were mistaken, and he hurriedly explained, "Patriarch, elders, the matter is like this. Today, when we were out training, we encountered the pursuit of a golden immortal realm golden rock darkwind boar. Fortunately, young master Mo lent a hand to rescue us and killed the golden rock darkwind boar, allowing us to preserve our lives. I saw that Mr. Mo was powerful and thought that he might be able to help us, so I invited him to return to the clan." Under the gaze of Li Jin and the others, Li Kun recounted the incident without missing a single detail. After hearing Li Kun's words, Li Jin and the others nodded and revealed expressions of understanding. "If that's the case, then thank you very much, Mr. Mo, for coming to help." Knowing the purpose of Mo Qingyun and the others' visit, Li Jin and the others were delighted and hurriedly thanked Mo Qingyun. Chapter 1599. Tell me, what kind of abilities do the helpers invited by the three clans possess? Since he was going to help Snowflake, Mo Qingyun did not beat around the bush and started to ask for information about his opponents. Although Mo Qingyun was very confident in his own strength, it was not a bad thing to know more about his opponents. As the saying goes, know thyself and know thy enemy, and you will never be defeated, right? Upon hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Li Jin did not dare to hide anything. He immediately explained to Mo Qingyun, Anopheles crab was invited by the dragon horse golden crab tribe. His physical strength is comparable to that of a small golden body powerhouse. Ordinary means cannot hurt him, but he is not the most difficult one to deal with. Li Shan, the helper invited by the Green Lantern Silver-Eyed Snake tribe, is not only strong, but also has two heads. He is also good at a two-headed soul superpower. He is much more difficult to deal with than Anopheles crab. As for Tai Bai Chio, he has the blood of the dragon race in his body. His control of the power of fire has reached the peak. It is said that he once burned a powerhouse at the Golden Body sculpting stage to death. Next, Li Jin explained the situation of Anopheles crab and the others to Mo Qingyun. From Li Jin's description, it was clear that Anopheles crab and the others were not simple. After listening to Li Jin's explanation, Mo Qingyun had a comprehensive understanding of his opponents. In that case, I will wait for the competition to begin in 3 days. After understanding everything about the competition, Missouri Qingyun nodded with satisfaction. Although they still had to wait for 3 days, the lightning cloud crane was currently in the midst of a breakthrough and could not carry Mo Qingyun and the others on their journey. In that case, waiting for another 3 days did not seem to be a problem. Li Kun, take Mr. Mo and Mr. Gu to rest. After explaining the situation of the competition to Mo Qingyun, Li Jin instructed Li Kun to take Mo Qingyun and Shi Yin to rest. Mr. Mo, Senior Gu, please follow me. When Li Kun heard Li Jin's instructions, he immediately made a gesture of invitation and led Mo Qingyun and Li Qier out of the main hall. All right, Mo Qingyun nodded and left with Li Kun. Not long after entering the main hall with Li Kun, Mo Qingyun arrived in front of a courtyard, a trace of surprise appearing on his face. This courtyard was a little different from the snowflake silver-haired deer's house. It was more like an inn. Mr. Mo, our clan built these villas to entertain guests from all over the world. Standing in front of the courtyard, Li Kun explained to Mo Qingyun, dispelling the doubts in Mo Qingyun's heart. After leading Mo Qingyun and Shi Yin to the courtyard, Li Kun let Mo Qingyun choose the courtyard that they wanted to stay in. Then, after Mo Qingyun and Shi Yin had chosen their courtyard, Li Kun excused himself and left. After Li Kun left the courtyard, Mo Qingyun entered the 5-directional small tower to check on the lightning cloudy crane's cultivation situation. After some observation, Mo Qingyun discovered that the lightning cloudy crane's aura was stable and its momentum was steadily increasing. It seemed that there was no need to worry about the lightning cloudy crane's breakthrough in cultivation. Based on this situation, the lightning cloudy crane's breakthrough to the golden immortal realm was basically a matter of course. After leaving the lightning cloudy crane's cultivation place, Mo Qingyun also began to cultivate and continue to increase his strength. Hey, my soul cultivation is about to break through to the great star realm. Just as Mo Qingyun was preparing to cultivate, he suddenly discovered a movement in his sea of consciousness, and a look of pleasant surprise appeared on his face. Of course, while Mo Qingyun was pleasantly surprised, his heart was also tense. His soul cultivation breaking through to the great star realm was not a small matter, and he could not be the slightest bit careless. Immediately, Mo Qingyun focused his mind and calmed himself down to break through his soul cultivation. Under Mo Qingyun's wholehearted cultivation, more and more soul power gathered in his sea of consciousness and continuously poured into the nascent soul of creation's body. Waves of soul power poured into the nascent soul of creation's body, and the nascent soul of creation's body began to change. The nascent soul of creation's body is changing? Could it be that it has absorbed too much soul power? Is it going to explode? Realizing that there was something wrong with the nascent soul of creation, Mo Qingyun's expression was shocked, and he could not help but feel worried. This situation was somewhat out of his expectations. If the nascent soul of creation really exploded, it would be a very bad situation. Fortunately, the situation was not as good as Mo Qingyun thought. The change in the nascent soul of creation's body was not a sign that it was going to explode. Realizing that he was wrong, Mo Qingyun's expression relaxed, and his hanging heart was put down. The current situation of the nascent soul of creation, to be exact, was a kind of evolution and evolution. Previously, the nascent soul of creation was like a toddler learning how to walk, but now it was like a 5- or 6-year-old child. This situation was similar to the nascent soul of creation growing from a toddler learning how to walk to a 5- or 6-year-old child. Could it be that as my soul cultivation breaks through, the nascent soul of creation will continue to grow? Discovering the changes of the nascent soul of creation, Mo Qingyun was surprised and speculated about such a possibility. Knowing that the nascent soul of creation was fine, Mo Qingyun was no longer worried, and once again immersed himself in breaking through his soul cultivation. A few days later, under Mo Qingyun's wholehearted efforts to break through, his soul cultivation finally broke through and entered the level of the great star position. When his soul cultivation reached the great star position, Mo Qingyun found that his perception was obviously much stronger than before. This could be said to be a good thing for him, as it proved that his strength had become stronger again. After calming down the surprise in his heart, Mo Qingyun immersed himself in cultivation again, stabilizing the great star position that he had just broken through. While Mo Qingyun was cultivating, Li Jin and the others encountered a headache. Patriarch Li Kun invited Mr. Mo, but what about Yang Jun of the Sea-Splitting Mantis clan? In the main hall of Snowflake, an old man with a long beard looked dignified and asked Li Jin for his thoughts. Hearing this elder's words, Li Jin showed a hesitant expression and expressed his concerns. Mr. Mo kindly came to help, and we have already agreed to let him help. If we go back on our word now, it will inevitably cause him to be displeased, and the consequences are not something we can bear. Yes, this Mr. Mo's identity is extraordinary. If we embarrass him, it will indeed be a big problem. Hearing Li Jin's concerns, the elders in the main hall all looked dignified and worried. The only thing I can do now is to hope that Yang Jun of the Sea-Splitting Mantis clan will refuse our invitation. Thinking that there might be 2 helpers and that he could only choose one of them, Li Jin felt an extreme headache. The identities of these 2 people were very extraordinary, and Snowflake could not afford to offend them. Chapter 1600. Chief, what do you think? While everyone was silent, one of the elders in the hall suddenly spoke, breaking the silence. Hearing this elder's words, Li Jin and the others looked at the elder curiously. Li Jin said, "Elderly Ming, if you have any good suggestions, why don't you share them with us?" Under everyone's gaze, elderly Meng cleared his throat and said, I think that if Yang Jun really comes, why don't we let him compete with Mr. Mo? Whoever wins will represent our tribe in the battle. Elderly Meng, you're too naive. With Mr. Mo and Yang Jun's status, how can they let us choose them at will? Yes, if we really do that, I'm afraid we'll offend both of them. In comparison, I think it's better to offend Yang Jun than Mr. Mo. Yes, after all, we know Yang Jun's background, but we don't know anything about Mr. Mo's background. Hearing elderly Meng's suggestion, Li Jin and the others all shook their heads and rejected it. They thought that elderly Meng's suggestion was inappropriate. In their opinion, Mo Qingyun's status should be more terrifying than Yang Jun's, and they should not offend him at all. Seeing everyone's attitude, elderly Meng smiled bitterly and quickly explained, Everyone, you've misunderstood my meaning. Everyone was shocked and looked at elderly Meng curiously, wanting to see how he would explain it. Elderly Meng took a deep breath and said, I feel that after Yang Jun arrives and learns of the situation, he will definitely look for young Master Mo. At that time, whatever happens will have nothing to do with us. Don't you think this is appropriate? Elderly Meng, your idea is too risky. Why don't we let young Master Mo take the field? After some consideration, Li Jin decided to let Mo Qingyun fight. He did not want to change his previous decision. After announcing his decision, Li Jin thought for a moment and said, As for Yang Jun, if he really comes, we'll give him some compensation as a reward for his help. Hearing Li Jin's words, the others did not say anything more. It was a tacit agreement with Li Jin's approach. After all, although elderly Meng's suggestion made some sense, it was too risky. If something unexpected happened, Snowflake might not be able to bear the consequences. Thump, 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 there was a rush of footsteps. A young man with a strong body hurriedly walked into the hall. Chief, young Yang Jun of the Sea-Splitting Mantis clan have arrived. We don't have to worry about the 4 clans competition now. The snowflake's face, snowflake's face, snowflake. The snowflake, 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 snowman, snowflake. Snowflake, look, snowflakes happen. More importantly, this Yang Jun had arrived so quickly, arriving a full day ahead of time. Yang Jun was here. Li Jin and the others frowned and could not help but feel worried. How should they face Yang Jun? Let's go out and have a look. Knowing that Yang Jun had arrived, Li Jin did not think too much about it. He got up and walked out of the hall. Since they could not escape from this situation, they could only brace themselves and face it. Seeing Li Jin walking out of the hall, Li Meng and the others quickly followed and went to meet the people of the Sea-Splitting Mantis clan. After a while, the people of the Sea-Splitting Mantis clan appeared in front of Li Jin and the others. Young Master Yang Jun, Elder Yang Xian. Seeing Yang Jun and the others in front of him, Li Jin smiled warmly and greeted them. Everyone has come from afar. Please come in and take a seat. Clan leader Li Jin, you are too polite. Seeing Li Jin's behavior, Yang Jun and the others smiled faintly and followed Li Jin and the others into the hall. Not long after, everyone took a seat in the hall and exchanged some simple pleasantries. Clan leader Li Jin, I rushed over as soon as I received the invitation. I don't think I missed the time of the competition, right? Yang Jun sat down on a chair. He smiled brightly and joked with Li General. He naturally knew the specific time of the competition. Hearing Yang Jun mention the competition, Li Jin's face twitched and he said awkwardly, Young Master Yang Jun, about the 4 clans competition, this old man has to apologize to you. We have already decided on the candidate for the competition the day before you arrived. The candidate for the competition was already decided? Hearing Li Jin's words, Yang Xian and the others' faces immediately turned ugly. They knew what Li Jin was referring to. Li Jin was telling them that someone had taken Yang Jun's place in the competition. This also indirectly meant that Yang Jun was inferior to that person. Clan leader Li Jin, what do you mean by this? Are you humiliating our Sea-Splitting Mantis clan? Thinking that he came all the way here to help, but Li Jin and the others did not appreciate his kindness. Yang Jun's face immediately turned ugly. Li Jin and the others sent out an invitation letter to ask him to come to Snowflake to help. As a result, now that he was here, Li Jin said that he did not need his help. Was he playing with him? Young Master Yang Jun, please listen to my explanation. Seeing Yang Jun's unhappy expression, Li Jin showed a bitter expression and hurriedly explained, "This matter came too suddenly, and we were not prepared at all. The situation is like this." Next, Li Jin told Yang Jun and the others what had happened, as well as Mo Qingyun's identity. Li Jin also exaggerated Mo Qingyun's identity slightly. "You mean that Mr. Mo is from a big clan?" After listening to Li Jin's explanation, Yang Xian showed a doubtful expression and did not believe Li Jin's words. In his opinion, with Snowflake strength, it was impossible to invite a genius from a big clan. What's more, at this critical juncture, such a genius from a big clan just happened to appear. Was there such a coincidence in the world? It's absolutely true. Otherwise, I wouldn't have come up with this plan. Under Yang Xian's doubtful gaze, Li Jin showed a bitter expression and hurriedly confirmed to Yang Xian, saying, "We are also deeply grateful to young Master Yang Jun for coming all the way here and have decided to give young Master Yang Jun some small compensation." After Li Jin finished speaking, he showed a distressed expression and took out a golden ginseng, saying, "Young Master Yang Jun, your cultivation has just broken through to the half-step golden immortal realm. This brilliant gold divine thistle ginseng should be of some help to you in building your golden body." Brilliant gold divine thistle ginseng. Seeing the golden ginseng in Li Jin's hand, Yang Jun showed a surprised expression and was very tempted by this golden ginseng. Chapter 16:01. Since clan leader Li Jin has said so, I won't make a fuss about it. Seeing Li Jin take out the brilliant gold divine thistle ginseng, Yang Jun looked much better, and his tone became gentler. He said, "Although I can give the right to fight to Mr. Mo, I have to see what ability this kid has to replace me." Hearing Yang Jun's words, Li Jin and the others looked at each other, not knowing how to answer him. Seeing Li Jin and the others' concerns, Yang Jun smiled faintly and said, "Clan leader Li Jin, don't worry. I just want to see him. I won't do anything to him. You won't turn down my request, right?" This, Li Jin furrowed his brows. His mind was racing as he pondered whether or not he should agree to Yang Jun. Since Yang Jun had already put it this way, if he still refused, he was afraid that he would be too unreasonable. Seeing Li Jin's hesitation, Yang Jun didn't rush him. He silently waited for his reply. Under everyone's gaze, Li Jin hesitated for a moment, then said, "In that case, I'll take you to see Mr. Mo. However, I can't guarantee that Mr. Mo will agree to see you." "That's fine. If I really can't see him, I won't blame clan leader Li Jin." Hearing Li Jin's difficult words, Yang Jun waved his hand faintly, showing a magnanimous look. Then, Li Jin led Yang Jun and the others to Mo Qingyun's courtyard. Not long after, Li Jin and the others led the way, and they arrived outside Mo Qingyun's courtyard. "Mr. Mo, I'm here to see you." Standing outside Mo Qingyun's courtyard, Li Jin didn't go in directly. Instead, he asked for instructions from Mo Qingyun. Hearing Li Jin shout, Gu Lanshan walked out of the house and glanced coldly at Li Jin and the others. Seeing Gu Lanshan walk out of the room, Li Jin showed a look of awe. He immediately cupped his hands to Gu Lanshan and said, "Mr. Gu, young Master Yang Jun wants to see Mr. Mo. Please pass on a message for us." Hearing Li Jin's words, Gu Lanshan's face turned cold as he glanced at Yang Jun. Under Gu Lanshan's gaze, Yang Jun immediately felt like he was in an ice cellar. A golden celestial of the great, all-embracing heaven, and his aura is even stronger than my clan's ancestors. Seeing Gu Lanshan's terrifying power, Yang Jun looked at Li General. He believed Li Jin's words a little. It seemed that Mo Qingyun's identity was really not simple. It was not something that Yang Jun could compare with. When Gu Lanshan glanced at Yang Jun, he was also talking to Mo Qingyun, asking if Mo Qingyun wanted to see Yang Jun and the others. After talking to Mo Qingyun for a while, Gulanshan knew what Mo Qingyun was thinking. He waved his hand to Li Jin and the others and said, "Master is cultivating and can't come out to see you. You can all leave now." Hearing Gulanshan's words, Li Jin and the others' expressions changed. They looked a little embarrassed. "Since Mr. Mo is cultivating, we won't disturb him." Hearing Gulanshan's words, Li Jin did not dare to stay any longer. He quickly said goodbye to Gulanshan. Then, Li Jin left with Yang Jun and the others. He planned to wait for Mo Qingyun to finish his cultivation before bringing Yang Jun and the others over. After leaving Mo Qingyun's residence, Yang Jun looked unhappy and said, "This kid is too arrogant. Now that he's Snowflake's guest, he dares to treat clan leader Li Jin with such an attitude." "Young Master Yang Jun, you can't say that." Hearing Yang Jun's unhappy words, Li Jin immediately looked serious and tried to persuade Yang Jun. He was worried that Yang Jun would provoke Mo Qingyun and cause Gulanshan to deal with Yang Jun. If Yang Jun attacked Gulanshan and something happened to him, how could he explain it to the Sea-Splitting Mantis clan? Hearing Li Jin's words, Yang Jun also realized that he had lost his composure. A trace of fear appeared on his face. It was obvious that he was still a little afraid of Mo Qingyun. In order to find out who Mo Qingyun was, Yang Jun left Mo Qingyun's small courtyard. He did not go back immediately. Under Li Jin's arrangement, Yang Jun and the others stayed at the Snowflake Silver-Haired Deer tribe. Then time passed by slowly. Everything was very peaceful. 2 days later, it was finally the day of the four-clan competition. Seeing that the day of the four-clan competition had arrived, Li Jin went to Mo Qingyun and asked Mo Qingyun to represent Snowflake. Knowing that the day of the four-clan competition had arrived, Mo Qingyun did not continue to cultivate and came out of the five-direction tower. After these days of cultivation, his spiritual cultivation realm had been completely stabilized. "Clan leader Li Jin, let's go." Mo Qingyun walked out of the room and saw clan leader Li Jin in the courtyard. He smiled and nodded at him. Then, Mo Qingyun and Li Jin went to meet up with the others. Not long after, Mo Qingyun saw Li Ming and the others standing in front of a few demonic beast carriages. When Mo Qingyun looked at Li Ming and the others, he felt that they were looking at him with hatred. Sensing these hostile gazes, Mo Qingyun frowned slightly and could not help but turn a look at those people. Seeing Mo Qingyun turn a look at Yang Jun and the others, Li Jin's expression immediately changed. He quickly introduced to Mo Qingyun, "Mr. Mo, this is young Master Yang Jun of the Sea-Splitting Mantis clan. A few days ago, he was the one who wanted to visit you." "Oh." Hearing this, Mo Qingyun simply nodded as a greeting to Yang Jun. Seeing Mo Qingyun's attitude, Yang Jun's expression immediately became unhappy. He said in an unconvinced tone, "Clan leader Li Jin, so the person who fought for Snowflake is only at the early stage of the constellation realm. If he loses his life fighting against Anopheles Crab and the others, I'm afraid it will be difficult for you to explain. Mr. Mo, please don't blame him. Young Master Yang Jun likes to joke." Hearing Yang Jun's words, Li Jin's expression immediately changed. He quickly explained to Mo Qingyun. With Mo Qingyun's intelligence, he could naturally feel Yang Jun's hatred and that Li Jin was covering for him. Although he could feel Yang Jun's hatred, Mo Qingyun could not be bothered with him. He turned to Li Jin and said, "Clan leader Li Jin, it's getting late. Let's set off." As soon as Mo Qingyun finished speaking, he walked towards a demonic beast carriage, directly ignoring Yang Jun. Seeing Mo Qingyun walk towards a demonic beast carriage, Li Jin immediately followed and put Mo Qingyun into a demonic beast carriage. Seeing that Mo Qingyun ignored him, Yang Jun showed an angry expression. He could not help but clench his fists and think to himself, "Humph, I'd like to see how you will perform when fighting against Anopheles Crab and the others." Seeing that they had arrived at the location of the four-tribe competition, Missouri Qingyun instructed Xiong Tian and Xiong Di and walked out of the demonic beast carriage. When Mo Qingyun walked out of the demonic beast carriage, he saw three groups of people waiting not far away. Patriarch Li Jin, did you all go looking for bears because the two bears in your clan went missing? If you can't find the two bears, you can bring two dogs. Bears, bears, dogs are bears. I heard that you invited Su Jun of the Sea-Splitting Mantis clan. I wonder if he came? In my opinion, Su Jun probably didn't even look at the invitation letter. How did he team up with bears? Mocking words entered Mo Qingyun's ears one after another. Hearing these people's mocking words, Li Jin's expression immediately turned cold, and he said unhappily, "Everyone, could it be that the four-tribe competition you proposed is the so-called bickering convention? If that's the case, I don't think there's a need to proceed." Hearing Li Jin's words, the expressions of the people from the other three clans turned cold, and they no longer mock Li Jin. Since everyone is here, let's not waste any more time. Let the participants of the various clans come out. Hearing Li Jin's words, an elder of the Wood Scorpion Tail Wolf clan urged in a cold tone. Hearing this elder's words, the participants of the various clans walked up to the battle platform one after another. As the participants of the various clans came out, Mo Qingyun saw Anopheles Crab, Li Shan, and Tai Biju and couldn't help but size up the three of them. While Mo Qingyun was sizing up the three of them, the others also looked at him with astonishment. The peak of the early stage constellation realm? When everyone discovered Mo Qingyun's cultivation base, they were all astonished, thinking that they might have seen wrongly. In their opinion, even if Snowflake didn't have any powerhouses, they should have at least found someone with a perfected constellation realm. Now, they had sent someone at the peak of the early stage constellation realm. Were they planning to give up on themselves? I originally thought that Snowflake would have some powerhouses. After all this time, it's just two bears with a brat at the constellation realm. Upon discovering Mo Qingyun's cultivation base, a woman from the Red Griffin clan mocked Mo Qingyun and the other two. This woman was dressed in red robes. Her clothes were very bold, and a small part of her two large buns was exposed. When he heard this woman's words, Xiong Tian, who was beside her, was immediately displeased. He looked at the woman and said, "Your Red Griffin clan doesn't seem like much. You don't even have a complete set of clothes. TSK, you have no taste. You are indeed a bear." When she heard Xiong Tian's mocking words, the woman's expression turned cold, and she sneered at Xiong Tian. When the woman sneered at Xiong Tian, Xiong Di, who was beside her, smiled and said, "Miss, if you are a man and a wife, please put on your clothes before going out. If you are a woman from the Red Chamber, just name a price. I, Xiong Air, like women like you. I want to be your loyal fan." "Haha, well said, second brother." When he heard Xiong Di's words, Xiong Tian immediately laughed loudly and patted Mo Qingyun's shoulder. "Miss, your skills are indeed not bad. Brother Mo and I also want to be your loyal fans." When she heard Xiong Tian's words, the woman immediately became angry. She shouted angrily and left in a huff. When he saw that the woman was angry, Tai Biki, who was representing the Red Griffin clan, smiled coldly and said, "Miss Hong Yuan, don't worry. In the competition later, I will definitely teach these three fellows a lesson for you." In that case, Hong Yuan thanks young Master Tai. When she heard Tai Biki's words, the scantily clad woman smiled coquettishly and looked at Tai Biki affectionately. Xiong Tian and Xiong Di didn't take Tai Biki's words to heart. Xiong Tian smiled evilly and winked at Tai Biki. "Kid, I couldn't tell that you and I were kindred spirits. You're both this woman's loyal fans." When she heard Xiong Tian's words, Han Yuan was immediately enraged. She wanted to eat Xiong Tian alive. Chapter 1603. Oomph, you have a sharp tongue. Hearing Xiong Tian's words, Tai Biju coldly snorted and emitted a cold aura. Sensing Tai Biju's cold aura, Mo Qingyun frowned slightly and hurriedly warned Xiong Tian, "This guy is not weak. If you meet him later, be careful. He might attack you." From Tai Biju's expression, Mo Qingyun could see that he wanted to kill Xiong Tian and Tai Biju. "Yes, we know." Hearing Mo Qingyun's warning, Xiong Tian, and Tai Biju's expressions became serious, and they remembered Mo Qingyun's words. They also knew that their actions just now had truly angered Tai Biju. Since everyone is here, I will now announce the rules of the competition. Seeing Mo Qingyun and the others walk out, an old man revealed a serious expression and said to everyone, "The rules of the competition are like this. In order to prevent people from the same clan from fighting each other, we will use the method of challenge to choose your opponents. You can choose as many people as you want from the other 3 clans as your opponent." The old man continued, "The method of elimination is very simple. The winner stays and the loser is eliminated." The method of challenge? Mo Qingyun frowned when he heard the old man's words. He had a bad feeling and thought, if I'm not wrong, the other 3 clans should have reached an agreement. They want to use this method to eliminate the snowflake, silver-haired deer clan first. I object. This kind of competition is unfair. What if people work together to deal with one race at the same time? Hearing the rules of the competition, Li Jin showed a dissatisfied expression and immediately objected. The other 3 races seemed to have expected that Li Jin would act like this after learning the rules of the competition. The people of the other 3 races exchanged glances, and an old man walked out. He said, "Patriarch Li Jin, our 3 races all agree on the rules of the competition. Your objection is useless." You. Hearing this person's words, Li Jin was so angry that his face darkened. He wanted to argue with them. Seeing Li Jin's angry expression, Mo Qingyun shook his head at Li Jin and said in a deep voice, "Patriarch Li Jin, there is no need to argue with them. Just leave everything to me." From Mo Qingyun's point of view, since the 3 clans had already joined forces, Li Jin's objection was meaningless. Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Li Jin hesitated for a moment before nodding at Mo Qingyun. Since Mo Qingyun had said so, he believed that Mo Qingyun should be very confident. In this way, he did not need to argue with those people. Seeing that Li Jin had stopped arguing with them because of Mo Qingyun's words, the people from the other 3 clans were shocked. Then, their gazes towards Mo Qingyun immediately changed. They never thought that someone at the early stage of the Constellation Realm would be able to convince Li Jin so much. Mo Qingyun did not care about the reactions of the people from the other 3 races. He still stood where he was with an indifferent expression. Seeing Mo Qingyun's performance, Li Shan and the others were all curious. They could not help but take a few more glances at Mo Qingyun. Although that kid's cultivation level is not high, he gives me a feeling that he's not simple. Looks like he has some ability. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been able to replace Yang Jun. I didn't think that Snowflake would be so capable. They actually managed to find so many helpers. That's good too. Otherwise, when we fight later, I won't even be in the mood to fight. Li Shan and the others chatted for a while and became a little interested in Mo Qingyun. They decided to play with Mo Qingyun later. Seeing the reaction of Li Shan and the others, Yang Jun sneered and said proudly, "Kid, now that you are in the limelight, Tai Bai Chong and the others have noticed you. In the competition later, you will be taught a lesson by them." In Yang Jun's opinion, it was not a good thing that Mo Qingyun had attracted the attention of Tai Biqiang and the others. Since no one has any objections, let the competition officially begin. Seeing that Li Jin did not say anything else, the elder from the Wood Scorpion Tail Wolf tribe walked out and said, "Feng Liuqiang, you're the first to fight. Now, you can choose one person from the other 3 clans to be your opponent." "Yes, Elder Feng Xianqing." Hearing the elder's words, the youth called Feng Liuqiang looked at Xiong Di with a mischievous smile and said, "Kid, it's you. You're the one with the best mouth just now. I'll play with you first." "Me?" Xiong Di was stunned. He didn't think that Feng Liuqiang would choose him. After being stunned for a short while, Xiong Di did not hesitate and walked out of the crowd. "Miss Han Yuan, this kid was rude to you just now, so I'll teach him a lesson for you." Seeing Xiong Di walk up to him, Feng Liuqiang smiled faintly at Han Yuan, showing a very gentlemanly appearance. Hearing Feng Liuqiang's words, Han Yuan immediately smiled and threw a seductive look at him. "If that's the case, then I'll have to thank young Master Feng. Young Master Feng is indeed a romantic and handsome man. Haha, everyone thinks highly of me, so they gave me the nickname of Romantic Chong. Hearing Hong Yuan's laughter, Feng Liuqiang smiled proudly and showed off his romantic past. Looking at the conversation between Feng Liuqiang and Hong Yuan, Xiong Er revealed a simple and honest expression and faintly smiled. Brat, since we're all her fans, I'll give you some face in the battle later. Oof. Shameless boasting. Hearing Xiong Di's words, Feng Liuqiang's face sank, and he immediately shouted at Xiong Di. Theurgy, Ghostwood Wolf Fawn. After Feng Liuqiang's words, he threw a palm at Xiong Di, blasting out a terrifying immortal spiritual energy. Following that, a wave of cold and gloomy, immortal spiritual energy quickly gathered around Bearland. Not long after, this immortal spiritual energy turned into trees with wolf heads. Every time these trees whipped, a wolf image would be blasted out and bite at Xiong Di. Facing these wolf images, Xiong Di naturally did not dare to be careless and immediately threw a punch at these wolf images. Theurgy, heaven-shattering barbaric bear. A violent flame spirit energy burst out from Xiong Di's bare paw. When this flame spirit energy appeared, it turned into a huge flaming bear image and attacked the wolf images. Bang, bang, bang. Under the flaming bear image's attack, the wolf images that were attacking Xiong Di were instantly shattered. Not only that, after the flaming bear image destroyed the wolf images, its attack did not stop and continued to attack Feng Liuqiang. Facing the flaming bear image's attack, Feng Liuqiang did not dare to be careless and quickly threw a palm of the flaming bear image. Bang! When the flaming bear image was hit by Feng Liuqiang's palm, it immediately exploded and exploded with a terrifying heat wave. Under the impact of this heat wave, Feng Liuqiang did not have time to dodge and was immediately engulfed by the heat wave. Feng Liuqiang was engulfed by the flames and immediately let out a scream. Chapter 1604. After a while, when the flames dissipated, Feng Liuqiang's figure slowly appeared. The current Feng Liuqiang was no longer as heroic as before. He looked very miserable. His clothes were tattered and his hair was all burnt. Seeing Feng Liuqiang's appearance, Xiong Di smiled and said, "Now that you don't even have hair, I think you should change your name to Baldy Chong." Baldy Chong? That's the name of a hoodlum, okay? Feng Liuqiang, the genius of the Kuei-Wood Scorpion-Tail Wolf tribe. Can he use such a low-level name? You're going too far. Hearing Xiong Di's mocking words, Feng Liuqiang gritted his teeth in anger. His expression looked very ferocious. Feng Liuqiang, could be considered as a top figure in the surrounding tribes, but now he was humiliated by a stupid bear. This matter was simply too humiliating for him. If he doesn't teach Xiong Di a lesson, how can he face others in the future? Sacred art, hungry ghost soul. Feng Liuqiang's eyes flashed coldly. His body turned into an afterimage and quickly revolved around Xiong Di. When Feng Liuqiang revolved around Xiong Di, he also threw out a few palms at Xiong Di, exploding out a shocking amount of immortal spirit energy. When the immortal spirit energy appeared, it turned into wolves with scorpion tails, surrounding Xiong Di in the middle. "Xiong Er, watch out!" Seeing Feng Liuqiang's action, Xiong Tian's expression turned serious. He quickly warned Xiong Di. Hearing Xiong Tian's warning, Xiong Di's expression also turned serious. He panicked and attacked Feng Liuqiang. Sacred art, raging heavenly bear. Xiong Di roared towards the sky, exploding out a terrifying flame spirit energy. It turned into a huge fire bear shadow. After forming the fire bear shadow, Xiong Di charged forward, waving his bare paw at the scorpion tail wolf shadows. Bang, bang, bang. Under Xiong Di's crazy wave of bare paw, the scorpion tail wolf shadows shattered, turning into pure immortal spirit energy. However, when the scorpion tail wolf shadows dissipated, they emitted a pungent smell. Smelling this pungent smell, Xiong Di's expression immediately became shocked. His face darkened and said, You actually used poison. Humph. As the saying goes, all is fair in war. So what if you use poison? Seeing Xiongdi's reaction, Feng Liuqiang smiled proudly and rushed towards Xiongdi. Next, everyone saw Xiongdi being sent flying by Feng Liuqiang's palm. Puff! Suffering Feng Liuqiang's full force attack, Xiongdi immediately spat out a mouthful of blood and flew towards Mo Qingyun and the others. Seeing Xiongdi being sent flying by Feng Liuqiang, Xiong Tian revealed a nervous expression and immediately rushed towards Xiongdi. When Xiong Tian rushed towards Xiongdi, Mo Qingyun did not hesitate and quickly arrived beside Xiongdi. After helping Xiongdi sit down on the ground, Mo Qingyun said to Xiong Tian, "Let me take a look at its condition first and see if I can cure its poison." After Mo Qingyun finished speaking, he stretched out his right hand to check on Xiongdi's condition. While Mo Qingyun was observing Xiongdi's condition, he did not forget to communicate with Wu Yu and ask her how to cure the poison. Hearing Mo Qingyun's question, Wu Yu naturally did not hide anything and explained to Mo Qingyun in detail. After listening to Wu Yu's explanation, Mo Qingyun's expression relaxed, and the worry in his heart was put down. According to Wu Yu's explanation, Xiongdi's condition was not serious. It was just a type of poisonous miasma. Don't worry, I'll refine a cauldron of purifying heart elixir and let Xiong Air consume it. Looking at the worried Xiong Tian, Mo Qingyun gave him a faint smile and gave him a comforting expression. Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Xiong Tian's expression relaxed, and he quickly thanked Mo Qingyun. "If that's the case, then I'll leave Xiong Air's poison to you." After thanking Mo Qingyun, Xiong Tian's face was filled with anger. He looked at Feng Liuqiang and said, "You dare to hurt my second brother? I'll challenge you now." Looking at the angry Xiong Tian, Feng Liuqiang smiled contemptuously and ignored the angry Xiong Tian. He turned to look at Han Yuan and said, "Miss Han Yuan, I didn't disappoint you and taught that brat a lesson for you. Thank you, young Master Feng, you've worked hard." Hearing Feng Liuqiang's words, Han Yuan revealed a charming smile and winked at Feng Liuqiang. Seeing Han Yuan's action, Feng Liuqiang's heart was stirred and he couldn't wait to pounce on Han Yuan. This woman was too seductive. "Baldy-chan, you've gone too far." Seeing that Feng Liuqiang was ignoring him, Xiong Tian became even angrier and charged towards Feng Liuqiang. Seeing Xiong Tian's action, Elder Feng Xuanqing's face darkened and he angrily shouted, "Stop! I'm here. How can you sneak attack someone?" After Feng Xuanqing finished speaking, he no longer hesitated and immediately blasted a palm at Xiong Tian. "Feng Xuanqing, how dare you!" Seeing Feng Xuanqing's action, Li Jin's face darkened and he shouted at Feng Xuanqing. When Li Jin shouted angrily, he didn't hesitate and charged towards Feng Xuanqing. "Patriarch Li Jin, what are you doing? Are you going to break the rules of the competition?" Seeing Li Jin's action, the other three patriarchs all stood up to stop him. Then, Li Jin was stopped by the three patriarchs, and he couldn't stop Feng Xuanqing from attacking Xiong Tian. "Wind Power Dweller, Wang Hanjiang, Wu Qinsheng, the three of you have gone too far." Seeing the actions of the three patriarchs, Li Jin gnashed his teeth in anger, but there was nothing he could do. The three patriarchs' strength was similar to his. Now that the three of them had joined forces to stop him, there was nothing he could do. Bang! Then, everyone saw Xiong Tian being sent flying by Feng Xuanqing's palm. Feng Xuanqing did not continue to pursue after sending Xiong Tian flying with a palm. He revealed a cold expression and shouted, "On account of Patriarch Li Jin's face, this old man will spare your life today. If you do it again, this old man will definitely take your life." Xiong Tian. Seeing Xiong Tian being sent flying by Feng Xuanqing's palm, Mo Qingyun immediately rushed up and caught Xiong Tian. After Mo Qingyun caught Xiong Tian, he no longer hesitated and immediately checked Xiong Tian's injuries. After a round of examination, Mo Qingyun's expression became better. He learned that Xiong Tian's life was not in danger. But even so, Mo Qingyun was still incomparably furious, emitting a strong chill. He had a good impression of Xiong Tian and Xiong Di. Now that he saw the two of them injured, it was inevitable that he would be a little angry. Especially that Feng Xianqing, as the judge of this competition, he actually attacked Xiong Tian ruthlessly. This kind of action was really too much. Don't worry, I'll avenge you guys. Mo Qingyun helped Xiong Tian to the side. Mo Qingyun instructed them and returned to the competition platform. Seeing Mo Qingyun walk to the platform, Li Jin's expression fell, and he couldn't help feeling worried. Chapter 16:05. It's too difficult for Mr. Mo to deal with the geniuses of the three major clans by himself. Looking at Mo Qingyun, who was walking forward, Li Jin's expression turned cold. He immediately made a decision. We must find someone else to help young master Mo Qingyun and let him rest during the fight. When Li Jin thought of this, he revealed a pondering expression, thinking about who to send to replace Xiong Tian in the battle. Li Jin looked around, and his eyes fell on Yang Jun. He wanted to ask Yang Jun for help. In the Four Clans competition, you can only ask for help from an outsider. Yang Jun isn't a member of Snowflake, so it's impossible for him to fight. Thinking that he couldn't ask Yang Jun to fight, Li Jin looked regretful. He could only ask someone else to fight. In his opinion, it would be best if Yang Jun could make a move. While Li Jin looked regretful, the people of the three major clans all sneered proudly. Seeing Li Jin frowning, the patriarch of the Kuei Wood Scorpion Tail Wolf clan, Wind Power Dweller, stood up and said proudly, "Elder Li Jin, we are all reasonable people. Since Elder Feng Xianqing injured your clan's member and made him unable to continue participating in the competition, we now allow you to replace the injured youth with someone else." Really? Hearing Wind Power Dweller's words, Li Jin's expression changed. He was pleasantly surprised. This was undoubtedly the best news for him. Of course, Wind Power Dweller nodded and gave Li Jin a positive answer. He said, "Not only that, we won't restrict you. This person is from Snowflake and has been favored by other clans. I hope you won't regret it later." Hearing Wind Power Dweller's words, Li Jin immediately looked happy. He hurriedly walked over to Yang Jun and asked, "Young Master Yang Jun, Xiong Tian is injured and can't participate in the competition. Please fight in his place." "You want me to fight?" Hearing Li Jin's words, Yang Jun's expression froze and showed a trace of reluctance. Previously, Li Jin directly disqualified him from the competition because of Mo Qingyun. Now that Li Jin was in trouble, they asked him to fight. This was too disrespectful to him. Seeing Yang Jun's reaction, Li Jin immediately became worried. He was afraid that Yang Jun would reject him. While Li Jin was worrying, Mo Qingyun, not far away, Li Jin, you don't need to ask for help. Mo I alone is enough. Mr. Mo this. Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Li Jin's expression immediately changed. He seemed to be in a difficult position. It was a good thing that Mo Qingyun was confident, but could he really fight the geniuses of the three major tribes with his strength alone? Li Jin obviously didn't believe this. He felt that it was too fantastical. "Kid, don't get carried away. I didn't say that I didn't agree." Seeing Mo Qingyun's reaction, Yang Jun's face immediately darkened. He said angrily, "Clan leader Li Jin, I agree to fight you. However, I want to fight before that, kid. In that case, thank you very much, young Master Yang Jun." Hearing that Yang Jun was willing to fight the snowflake silver-haired deer, Li Jin immediately smiled in surprise. From his point of view, it didn't matter what Yang Jun's request was, as long as he agreed to fight. Yang Jun agreed to Li Jin's request. He walked forward and scolded Mo Qingyun coldly. "Step aside first. Let me fight them first." Seeing Yang Jun's action, Mo Qingyun glanced at Anopheles Crab and the others. He smiled faintly and said, "Since you want to show off, I'll fulfill your wish." Mo Qingyun was very clear that with Yang Jun's strength, he was still no match for the Heavenly Crab Mosquito and the others. As such, it wouldn't be a problem for Yang Jun to make the first move. After all, Mo Qingyun's target was Anopheles Crab and the others. Whether or not he could fight Feng Luchang and the others wasn't too important. Since that was the case, letting Yang Jun deal with Feng Luchang and the others first would save Mo Qingyan some trouble. Kid, come up and fight. Yang Jun walked to the center of the battle stage and pointed at Feng Luchang, issuing a challenge. Hearing Yang Jun's challenge, Feng Luchang's expression immediately changed. Fear flashed in his eyes. He had long heard of Yang Jun's name and knew that Yang Jun was very powerful. He wasn't someone Feng Luchang could fight against. All right, although Feng Luchang knew that he was no match for Yang Jun, he didn't back down and immediately agreed to Yang Jun's challenge. Then, Feng Luchang returned to the battle stage under everyone's gaze and said, Yang Jun, I know you're powerful, but I don't believe that you can challenge so many of us by yourself. In Feng Luchang's eyes, Mo Qingyun was completely ignored. It was as if he didn't exist. He probably thought that with Mo Qingyun's strength at the peak of the early constellation realm, he was only here to make up the numbers. As long as they dealt with Yang Jun, the competition of the four clans would come to an end. Whether I can defeat you all or not, we'll know once we try. Hearing Feng Luchang's words, Yang Jun showed an arrogant expression and replied coldly. Superpower, ghostly mantis shadow. As soon as Yang Jun's words fell, his figure flashed and disappeared from the spot. Following that, the crowd saw Yang Jun's figure rapidly growing in size. Soon, Yang Jun's figure grew to 100 feet tall and turned into a giant mantis with a threatening aura. Yang Jun transformed into a giant praying mantis and swung his giant forearms towards Feng Luoqiang. Suddenly, a terrifying immortal spiritual energy erupted from Yang Jun's forearm, causing the surrounding space to tremble. Seeing Yang Jun's forearm sweeping towards Feng Luoqiang, everyone's expression changed drastically. They couldn't help but worry for Feng Luoqiang. That's an upper-grade ancient superpower. Yang Jun actually cultivated such a superpower. Looks like Feng Luoqiang is in trouble now. He won't be able to fight Yang Jun. Of course, Yang Jun is on par with Anopheles Crab and the others. Feng Luoqiang is naturally no match for him. This Yang Jun has some strength. It's worth for me to go all out against him. Of course, that's all. Seeing Yang Jun's performance, everyone's expression was greatly shocked, and different feelings arose in their hearts. So strong, so fast. Facing Yang Jun's attack, Feng Luoqiang's face turned pale as he hurriedly defended against it. After the fierce battle just now, Feng Luoqiang's current state could be said to be at the end of his rope. Therefore, facing Yang Jun's overbearing attack, how could he resist it? Bang! Soon, everyone saw Feng Luoqiang being sent flying by Yang Jun's attack. Puff! Feng Luoqiang's body flew out. He spat out blood, and his face turned even paler. Luoqiang, how are you? Don't be discouraged. Yang Jun's talent is outstanding. It's not shameful for you to lose to him. That's right. You're already injured. Otherwise, he might not be able to defeat you so easily. Don't worry. We'll avenge you in the battle later. Looking at Feng Luoqiang, who was sent flying, the other members of the Wood Scorpion Tail Wolf tribe comforted him. Hearing their words, Feng Luoqiang's face turned better. He walked to the side and sat down to heal his injuries. After defeating Feng Luoqiang with one palm, Yang Jun's expression became more arrogant as he looked around at the crowd. In the end, Yang Jun's gaze stopped on a young man from the Green Lantern Silver-Eyed Snake tribe. He said, It's you. Come out and fight with me. All right. Hearing Yang Jun's challenge, the young man did not choose to escape. He stood up and walked towards the battle stage. He had the same thought as Feng Luoqiang. Although he could not defeat Yang Jun, he would not admit defeat directly. In a short while, the young man and Yang Jun faced off. His expression was filled with dread and seriousness. It seemed that the strength that Yang Jun had displayed just now had made the proud Yang Jun fearful. Yang Jun glanced at the young man and revealed a cold smile. His eyes flashed with mockery. Yang Jun, although I am not your opponent, I will not admit defeat. Seeing Yang Jun charging towards him, the youth's expression became flustered. He said some fearful words and said, Even if I lose to you, I will exhaust your immortal spiritual energy and make it difficult for you to fight later on. You think you can exhaust my immortal spiritual energy? You think too highly of yourself. Hearing the young man's thoughts, Yang Jun showed a look of disdain and replied without a care. From the beginning to the end, Yang Jun did not put his opponent in his eyes. He felt that he could defeat him in an instant. The situation was indeed so. Under Yang Jun's attack, the young man immediately fell into a perilous situation. However, Yang Jun wasn't able to defeat his opponent effortlessly like he said. It seems that within 10 moves, this person will be defeated. Seeing the situation of the battle between Yang Jun and the young man, Mo Qingyun immediately had an answer to the result of this battle. The strength of both sides was not proportional at all. It would be very easy for Yang Jun to win. Sure enough, when Yang Jun and the young man exchanged 9 moves, the young man was overbearingly defeated by Yang Jun. After Yang Jun defeated his opponent, he showed an arrogant expression and threw a provocative look at Mo Qingyun. Seeing Yang Jun's action, Mo Qingyun's expression did not change at all. He still had an indifferent expression and said to himself, "In the battle just now, although Yang Jun easily defeated his opponent, he also exhausted a lot of spirit energy. If this continues, he will at most defeat 3 more people before his spirit energy runs out." Although he knew Yang Jun's situation, Mo Qingyun did not point out that he should replace Yang Jun. Mo Qingyun knew very well that even if he replaced Yang Jun out of kindness, Yang Jun would not accept his kindness. So why should he deal with it unpleasantly? While Mo Qingyun was analyzing the situation, Yang Jun raised his hand and pointed to another person, issuing challenge. P.S. Because the readers have complained that 2,000 words per chapter is too little, I will write 3,000 words per chapter in the future. Chapter 1606. Yang Jun, you think too highly of yourself. Let me end you now. Seeing that Yang Jun wanted to challenge him, an evil smile appeared on the man's face, and he immediately walked onto the stage. Judging from his stance, he seemed to think that he would have a chance to defeat Yang Jun if he exhausted too much of his spirit energy. You're the one who thinks too highly of yourself. Even if I, Yang Jun, only have a single breath left, defeating you will be as easy as flipping my hand. Hearing the man's arrogant words, Yang Jun's tone was cold, and his body emitted a chilling aura. Seeing the anger on Yang Jun's face, this person did not argue with him. Instead, he smiled faintly and said, "Even if I cannot defeat you, I'm afraid that you will be at the end of your rope after our battle." It seemed that this man's true thoughts were the same as Feng Luchang's. He wanted to exhaust more of Yang Jun's immortal spirit energy when he fought him. This man was slightly stronger than Feng Luchang and Feng Luchang. After exchanging over 100 blows with Yang Jun, he was finally defeated. After Yang Jun defeated this man, he clearly showed signs of fatigue. It seemed that his spirit energy really was running out. Although Yang Jun's spirit energy was starting to run out, he didn't ask for a break. Yang Jun exhaled deeply and pointed at another person, saying, "Tai Xiangwen, come out and fight." Judging from the situation, Yang Jun and Tai Xiangwen seemed to have crossed paths before. "Yang Jun, I lost to you 10 years ago. Today, I want to avenge my past humiliation." Tai Xiangwen revealed an excited expression when Yang Jun called him out for a challenge. His body emitted a fighting spirit. Presumably, he thought that he might have a chance to avenge his past humiliation while Yang Jun's spirit energy was running out. "Tai Xiangwen, I told you before that you'll never be able to defeat me. That won't change today." Hearing Tai Xiangwen's words, Yang Jun coldly replied, displaying the demeanor of a king. "Then let's see who's the real deal." Tai Xiangwen was quite crafty. After exchanging a few simple words with Yang Jun, he began to attack. Looking at his posture, he seemed to be worried that Yang Jun would take the opportunity to recover. He wanted to take advantage of Yang Jun's lack of spirit energy to deliver a fatal blow. Unfortunately, after the two had exchanged close to 300 moves, Tai Xiangwen was still defeated. "I've said it before. You will never be my opponent. That's true today, and it won't change in the future." After successfully defeating Tai Xiangwen, Yang Jun revealed a prideful expression and said a domineering sentence. Hearing Yang Jun's words, Tai Xiangwen revealed a bitter smile and walked back to the clan members with a dejected expression. He knew very well that if he could not defeat Yang Jun today, it would be even more difficult to defeat Yang Jun in the future. Of course, after the battle, just now, Yang Jun's spirit energy was even weaker. In the battle just now, if Tai Xiangwen had been able to hold on for a while longer, the loser might have been Yang Jun. Seeing that Yang Jun's spiritual power was running out, Li Jin looked worried and quickly suggested to Yang Jun, "Young Master Yang Jun, you have fought 3 battles in a row. Why don't you take a break first and let Mr. Imo fight for a while?" Hearing Li Jin's words, Yang Jun turned to look at Imo Qingyun and said with a disdainful expression, "Even if he fights, I won't be able to rest for a while. Let me continue fighting. It's not up to you to decide how long I can hold on." Imo Qingyun smiled faintly and shook his head when he saw Yang Jun's reaction. He said, "Moreover, if you really are tired, then it's best that you don't show off. Just obediently go to the side and rest. Otherwise, you'll be utterly humiliated if you get defeated later. Kid, shut up. You don't have to worry about my business." Hearing Imo Qingyun's words, Yang Jun's face immediately darkened, and he shouted angrily at Imo Qingyun. Who was Yang Jun? Among the hundreds and thousands of clans nearby, he was a super genius ranked in the top 10. How could he lose to people like Feng Luchong? Seeing Yang Jun's reaction, Imo Qingyun said nothing more and let Yang Jun do whatever he wanted. Yang Jun did not appreciate his good intentions, so what else could he say? There was no need for him to try and get a cold shoulder. In the previous few battles, several weaker people had already been defeated by Yang Jun. Now, the remaining people were all very strong, not to be outdone by Yang Jun. If Yang Jun was at his peak, it would not be difficult for him to defeat them. However, in his current state, it was rather difficult to say if he could defeat them. Yang Jun glanced at everyone. He could not help but become rather hesitant. He was unable to make a decision right away about who he should choose. Yang Jun, you're quite strong, but you've been through a series of intense battles. I'd advise you not to show off. That's right. You should listen to that kid and go to the side to rest. Otherwise, you'll end up lying on the stage from exhaustion later. Yang Jun, you shouldn't have gotten involved in this mess. You're now stuck in a dilemma. Yang Jun, are you afraid? Why haven't you chosen an opponent yet? Anopheles Crab and the others mocked Yang Jun when they saw that he had not chosen an opponent yet. They showed their disdain for Yang Jun. The current Yang Jun was no longer a concern. Under the mocking of Anopheles Crab and the others, Yang Jun's face immediately darkened. He pointed angrily at a young man and said, "You, come out and fight me." Me? Seeing that Yang Jun had challenged him, the young man was stunned. A smirk appeared at the corner of his mouth, and he said, "Yang Jun, don't look down on me. Although I'm not as strong as Li Shan and the others, it won't be easy for you to defeat me." As soon as the young man finished speaking, he released the aura of his cultivation base, which faintly suppressed Yang Jun. It seemed that the young man's true cultivation base was slightly higher than Yang Jun's. In addition, when the young man released his aura, it was mixed with the power of the Way of Thunder. It seemed that he was very close to breaking through to the golden immortal realm. This young man is not simple. He's no different from an expert at the golden body sculpting stage. Sensing the young man's aura, Imo Qingyun frowned slightly. He had a rough idea of his opponent's strength. He said, "It seems that it'll be difficult for Yang Jun to win this battle. It's very likely that he'll be defeated by this person." When Imo Qingyun saw that the young man was not simple, Yang Jun also saw that he was not simple. His expression immediately became serious. "Wang Yuyang, teach that kid Yang Jun a lesson. Let him know that he can't be too arrogant." Li Shan smiled faintly as he looked at the young man, standing opposite Yang Jun. He instructed the young man. Hearing Li Shan's words, Wang Yuyang grinned and licked his lips. "I, Wang Yuyang, have never defeated a genius at Yang Jun's level. Looks like I'll be breaking the record today." From the looks of it, Wang Yuyang wanted to establish his prestige and fame by defeating Yang Jun. However, it made sense. For a genius at Yang Jun's level, regardless of whether he was in peak condition or not, it was enough to be proud of. Hearing Wang Yuyang's words, Yang Jun's face immediately turned ugly. His expression gradually became ferocious. This fellow actually wanted to use him as a stepping stone, stepping on him to establish his own prestige. He could not accept this kind of thing. Superpower, sky-splitting demonic axe. Thinking of Wang Yuyang's plan, Yang Jun was furious. He roared angrily and struck at Wang Yuyang with his palm. A terrifying amount of immortal spiritual energy rapidly gathered above Wang Yuyang and turned into the forearm of a praying mantis. The huge praying mantis forearm formed, and with the force of a thunderbolt, it bombarded Wang Yuyang below. Facing Yang Jun's attack, Wang Yuyang did not dare to be careless. He immediately blocked it. Superpower, Green Soul Demonic Eye. Facing Yang Jun's attack, Wang Yuyang did not dare to hold back. He quickly activated the power of his bloodline. Then, a golden light flashed in Wang Yuyang's eyes, and a golden spear burst forth. The golden spear appeared, and with the force of a thunderbolt, it blasted towards the huge praying mantis forearm. Pucci! Under the bombardment of the golden spear, the praying mantis forearm was immediately destroyed and quickly dissipated between heaven and earth. After the golden spear destroyed the praying mantis forearm, its attack did not slow down and continued to bombard Yang Jun. How? How can this be? How can he be so strong? Seeing that his all-out attack was easily defeated by Wang Yuyang, Yang Jun was shocked. He could not accept the situation. This was beyond his expectations. In his opinion, even if he was not in his peak condition, it should not be difficult for him to defeat Wang Yuyang with his current strength. After a brief moment of panic, Yang Jun calmed down from the shock in his heart and hurriedly attacked the oncoming golden spear. Yang Jun waved his hands in succession. Waves of violent, immortal spiritual energy erupted from his palms. Soon, a huge praying mantis shadow formed in front of Yang Jun. When the praying mantis shadow was formed, it waved its two axe-shaped forearms and frantically struck the golden spear. Clang, clang, clang. The praying mantis forearms struck the golden spear, producing crisp sounds and blocking the golden spear. However, when Yang Jun blocked the golden spear, Wang Yuyang attacked again and bombarded him with even more frenzied attacks. Looking at Wang Yuyang's posture, he seemed to want to exhaust Yang Jun's spiritual energy and see who would run out of spiritual energy and be unable to hold on. Humph! Even if my spiritual energy consumption is quite large, it's still not something you can compare to. Faced with Wang Yuyang's storm-like attacks, Yang Jun's face was as dark as ink. He gritted his teeth and shouted coldly. This Wang Yuyang was too cunning. Seeing that Yang Jun's spiritual energy was running out, he wanted to exhaust Yang Jun's spiritual energy. Wang Yuyang ignored Yang Jun's anger and was completely immersed in his bombardment. It seems that Yang Jun has lost in a very big way. Seeing that Wang Yuyang had begun to dominate the situation, Mo Qingyun could not help but sigh. He felt that Yang Jun's momentum was gone. If Yang Jun did not have any trump cards, there was basically no suspense about the final outcome of this battle. While Mo Qingyun was lamenting in his heart, he did not expect that Wang Yuyang's aura was actually rising. Based on the current situation, Wang Yuyang seemed to be about to make a breakthrough in his cultivation and was preparing to use the battle with Yang Jun to do so. In this way, Yang Jun had become a whetstone and a tool for Wang Yuyang to make a breakthrough in his cultivation. Yang Jun was probably in a bad mood after getting such an outcome. Chapter 16:07. Wang Yuyang's cultivation is about to break through. This time, Yang Jun is really done for. Yang Jun probably never dreamed that Wang Yuyang's cultivation would break through at this time. No, Wang Yuyang's crazy attack on Yang Jun was probably to break through his cultivation base. If that's the case, Wang Yuyang is using Yang Jun as a whetstone to help him break through his cultivation base. Theoretically, that's the case. If Yang Jun knew Wang Yuyang's intention, he would probably vomit blood out of anger. When everyone saw Wang Yuyang's actions, they all revealed shocked expressions. They were incredibly shocked by Wang Yuyang's actions. It seemed that Wang Yuyang had already planned to use Yang Jun to break through his cultivation base during the battle. But then again, Yang Jun was really unlucky this time. Not only did he help Wang Yuyang break through his cultivation base, but he was also defeated by Wang Yuyang. The only thing that was worth celebrating was that when Wang Yuyang's cultivation base broke through to the golden immortal realm, he would lose with some dignity. Wang Yuyang's cultivation base was infinitely close to the golden immortal realm, and there was no danger for him to break through. The whole process of the breakthrough was a state of success, and he smoothly entered the golden immortal realm. "Break for me!" With a loud shout, Wang Yuyang's aura suddenly skyrocketed and became several times stronger. Wang Yuyang's cultivation base broke through and successfully entered the golden immortal realm. As his cultivation base broke through to the golden immortal realm, Wang Yuyang's strength also skyrocketed, and he immediately suppressed Yang Jun. "Yang Jun, you didn't expect this, did you? I will break through my cultivation base at this time." Wang Yuyang broke through to the golden immortal realm and successfully suppressed Yang Jun. He smiled proudly and said, "Yang Jun, you are no match for me. You should just admit defeat. Even if you break through to the golden immortal realm, you may not be able to defeat me." Looking at the proud Wang Yuyang, Yang Jun's expression was gloomy. He was unwilling to admit defeat to Wang Yuyang. If it wasn't for the continuous battle that exhausted his spiritual power, he could still defeat Wang Yuyang even if Wang Yuyang was in the golden immortal realm. Hateful. Hateful. He actually met Wang Yuyang breaking through to the golden immortal realm when his spiritual power was exhausted. Stubborn. Since you refuse a toast only to be forced to drink a forfeit, then don't blame me for being rude. Seeing that Yang Jun was unwilling to admit defeat, Wang Yuyang's expression turned cold, and a chilling aura emanated from his body. Then, Wang Yuyang didn't say anything else and immediately increased the intensity of his attacks. Divine ability, Green Lantern Snake Soul. With Wang Yuyang's angry roar, a huge shadow of a flame oil lamp quickly formed above Yang Jun. The shadow of the flame oil lamp emitted an astonishing aura, and a black snake that was thousands of feet long emerged from it. Hiss! As soon as Black appeared, it flicked its forked tongue and attacked Yang Jun with extreme speed, waving its large tail to attack Yang Jun. Seeing the snake tail whipping towards him, Yang Jun panicked, and his face paled a little. Wang Yuyang's cultivation had broken through to the golden immortal stage, and his strength had become so much stronger. It was completely incomparable to before. If that was the case, he might really be defeated by Wang Yuyang. Divine ability, Demon Axe, splits the heavens. In the face of the attack of the oil lamp snake shadow, Yang Jun didn't dare to hesitate and immediately used his divine ability to resist. Then, a huge shadow of a praying mantis quickly formed outside of Yang Jun's body, waving its two huge forearms. Bang! 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 The two huge forearms of the mantis shadow collided with the tail of the oil lamp snake shadow, and a series of earth-shattering sounds were heard. Then, a terrifying spiritual power storm raged in midair, forming a violent spiritual power storm. Under the double impact of the snake tail and the spiritual power storm, the mantis shadow in midair was soon bombarded into pieces. At the same time, when the mantis shadow was shattered, Yang Jun was also hit by the spiritual power storm, and his body was directly blown away. Puff! When Yang Jun was blown away, he spat out a mouthful of blood, and his face turned pale. He had lost. Seeing that Yang Jun was blown away by Wang Yuyang, Yang Xian and the others were nervous and quickly flew towards Yang Jun. Then, Yang Jun was caught by Yang Xian and the others. With the help of Yang Xian and the others, he stood firmly in midair with difficulty. Seeing Yang Jun's performance, Yang Xian and the others were nervous and quickly checked on Yang Jun's situation. After a round of examination, Yang Xian and the others found that Yang Jun had only overdrawn his spiritual power, and there were no serious injuries. They were completely relieved. Then, with the help of Yang Xian and the others, Yang Jun flew to the side and sat down cross-legged to heal his injuries. I told you before, if you can't do it, don't try to be brave. Now you can go to the side and rest. Mo Qingyun teased Yang Jun with a faint smile on his face as he watched Yang Jun recuperating at the side. Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Yang Jun's face immediately turned red with anger, and he shouted angrily at Mo Qingyun, "Boy, you don't need to gloat. It won't be long before you end up like me." "Oh, really? I don't think so." Hearing Yang Jun's words, Mo Qingyun smiled faintly and didn't agree with Yang Jun's words. If it wasn't for the fact that he wanted to test his strength and didn't want to use some powerful trump cards, Anopheles Crab and the others wouldn't be his opponents. Once he used the fusion gate, not to mention Anopheles Crab and the others, even the ancestors of the three clans wouldn't be able to do anything. Seeing that Mo Qingyun didn't care, Yang Jun's expression became colder, and he arrogantly said, "Mo Qingyun, you don't need to be so arrogant. Even if I was defeated by him, I defeated 4 people in a row. I wonder how many people you could defeat? So what if I defeated 4 people? Didn't I still lose in the end?" Hearing Yang Jun's proud words, Mo Qingyun responded indifferently, which directly made Yang Jun's face turn green and red. Mo Qingyun wasn't lying. So what if he defeated 4 people? He still lost in the end. However, before Yang Jun could ease the anger in his heart, Mo Qingyun revealed a mocking expression and said, "Also, the 4 people you defeated are all small fries. The 3 fellows with some ability have not made a move yet." Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Yang Jun immediately became speechless. He unconsciously glanced at Anopheles Crab and the others. That was indeed the case. The 4 people he had defeated were indeed the weakest among the 3 clans. Seeing that Yang Jun was speechless, Mo Qingyun ignored him and slowly walked up to the battle ring. Seeing Mo Qingyun walk up to the battle ring, everyone became serious and whispered to each other, "It's finally the kid's turn. I wonder how strong he'll be. In my opinion, he shouldn't be much. Can't you see that he's only at the early constellation realm? That's right. If I'm not wrong, he's probably just here to make up the numbers. He's just here to be a bystander." Looking at Mo Qingyun on the battle ring, the people around him were disdainful. They felt that Mo Qingyun was completely weak. Mo Qingyun didn't take their reactions to heart at all. He glanced at Li Shan and the others and said indifferently, "Don't waste time. Come with me together." Huffed, huffed, huffed. Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, the elders and patriarchs of the 3 clans couldn't help but spit out the tea they drank. Afterwards, they all widened their eyes and stared at Mo Qingyun as if they were looking at a monster. Wasn't this kid a little too arrogant? A person at the peak of the early constellation realm actually dared to challenge Anopheles Crab and the others. Was he looking for death? F***CK, this kid is too pretentious. I'm going to teach him a lesson. This kid is asking for a beating. Don't think that just because his cultivation is low, others won't have the heart to attack him. That's right. Others won't have the heart to attack him because they're afraid that they'll kill him if they hit him too hard. Young Master Crab, young Master Li, young Master Tai, teach this kid a lesson and teach him how to be a person. Mo Qingyun's words immediately angered the crowd. They all voiced their dissatisfaction. This Mr. Mo seems to be too pretentious. I'm afraid it won't be easy to clean up later. Seeing Mo Qingyun's performance, Xiong Tian and Xiong Di's expressions trembled. They couldn't help but look at each other. In their opinion, Mo Qingyun's arrogance would definitely anger Anopheles Crab and the others. This arrogant kid. I'd like to see how you're going to clean up later. Seeing Mo Qingyun steal his limelight with just one sentence, Yang Jun was so angry that his body trembled. This was too infuriating. He'd worked himself to death just now, but he couldn't even beat Mo Qingyun's one sentence. "Mr. Mo, don't be reckless. This competition isn't child's play." Seeing Mo Qingyun's arrogant behavior, Li Jin immediately advised Mo Qingyun. He was worried that Mo Qingyun would really fight all of them alone. Compared to Mo Qingyun's life, the safety of the ancient key was not important at all. If something happened to Mo Qingyun, the power behind Mo Qingyun would blame them. Snowflake wouldn't be able to bear the consequences. Kid, don't look down on others. I, Wang Yuyang, am more than enough to deal with someone in the early constellation stage like you. Seeing that Mo Qingyun had ignored him, Wang Yuyang was furious and immediately shouted at Mo Qingyun. In the face of Wang Yuyang's anger, Mo Qingyun looked indifferent and said calmly, I'm afraid you won't be able to do it alone. Why don't you let them attack together? As Mo Qingyun spoke, he raised his hand with a faint smile and pointed at Anopheles Crab and the others. Seeing Mo Qingyun's actions, Anopheles Crab and the others didn't rush to attack. Instead, they said indifferently, Kid, if you want us to attack, you'd better defeat Wang Yuyang first. Die, kid. As Anopheles Crab spoke, Wang Yuyang's eyes flashed with a cold light. Then, everyone saw a golden spear shoot out of Wang Yuyang's eyes. A golden celestial powerhouse actually chose to launch a sneak attack against someone from the constellation stage. Chapter 1608. Glare Blade Light. Looking at the golden spear coming towards him, Mo Qingyun's eyes flashed with a cold light, and a glare blade light burst out. The glare blade light's attack speed was extremely fast, and in a flash, it hit the golden spear in the blink of an eye. Bang! The glare blade light collided with the golden spear, and a crisp sound was heard, blocking the golden snake spear. Seeing that his attack was easily blocked by Mo Qingyun, Wang Yang was shocked and said in surprise, This kid is so strong. Although he is only in the constellation realm, his combat power is not weaker than the golden body stage powerhouses. Looking at the surprised Wang Yuyang, Mo Qingyun did not stop his attack and looked at Wang Yuyang again. Soul Prison. When Mo Qingyun looked at Wang Yuyang again, his left eye flashed, and a shocking soul power blasted out. This soul power blasted out from Mo Qingyun's left eye and turned into a soul chain. The soul chain's attack speed was extremely fast, and in the blink of an eye, it blasted into Wang Yuyang's sea of consciousness. After being hit by Mo Qingyun's soul attack, Wang Yuyang immediately screamed, and a trace of blood flowed out from the corner of his mouth. Then, Wang Yuyang's expression became sluggish, and his whole body became like a statue, standing motionless on the spot. What happened to Wang Yuyang? Did he get mobilized? Why aren't you moving? I'm not sure. I only heard him scream, and then he stopped moving. That kid is so strange. He actually knows such a divine ability. We have to think of a way to deal with it. If I'm not wrong, this kid should have used a divine ability to imprison Wang Yuyang's soul. You're saying that Wang Yuyang is now sluggish because his soul is imprisoned. That should be the case. Seeing Wang Yuyang's abnormal behavior, Anopheles Crab and the others were surprised and guessed the reason for this situation. Mr. Mo's soul power is so strong, it's on par with mine. Sensing the soul power released by Mo Qingyun, Li Jin was shocked, and he found it hard to believe. Under normal circumstances, a cultivator's soul cultivation was far lower than the immortal cultivation. But now, Mo Qingyun's soul cultivation was on par with the immortal cultivation, which was too shocking. How can this be? How can this kid have such a skill? Seeing Mo Qingyun's performance, Yang Jun was shocked and found it hard to believe. Wang Yuyang was a powerhouse in the golden immortal stage, but he couldn't even withstand a single glance from Mo Qingyun. Everyone's eyes. Wang Yuyang's eyes, immortal eyes. Mo's immortal eyes. Mo Qingyun arrived in front of Wang Yuyang and struck out with his palm, which landed squarely on Wang Yuyang's chest. After being hit by Mo Qingyun's palm, Wang Yuyang was sent flying like a cannonball. Bang, bang, bang. In the process of Wang Yuyang flying backwards, the huge rocks in his way were immediately smashed into pieces by him. Wang Yuyang spat out a mouthful of blood, and his face turned pale. Puff. After a short while, when Wang Yuyang steadied himself, he spat out a mouthful of blood, and there was no trace of blood on his face. Seeing Wang Yuyang like this, the clan leader and the elders of the Green Lantern Silver-Eyed Snake clan walked toward Wang Yuyang nervously. Wang Yuyang was a genius of the Green Lantern Silver-Eyed Snake clan. They could not allow him to be seriously injured, which would affect his future cultivation. After a careful examination, they found that Wang Yuyang's injuries were not serious, and Wang Hanjiang and the others were relieved. While Wang Hanjiang and the others were relieved, Anopheles Crab and the others looked at Mo Qingyun in a different light. I'm afraid this kid's strength is far above Yang Jun's. We misjudged him just now. This kid is not easy to deal with. I didn't expect him to hide his strength so well. We were all fooled just now. He is indeed much harder to deal with than Yang Jun, but it won't be easy for him to defeat me. After witnessing Mo Qingyun's strength, Anopheles Crab and the others' expressions were heavy. They did not dare to underestimate Mo Qingyun anymore. The current Mo Qingyun was already worthy of them fighting with all their might. One move. With just one move, he defeated Wang Yuyang. Seeing Mo Qingyun's amazing performance, Yang Jun's eyes immediately widened. He could not accept such a result. He had fought with Wang Yuyang for half a day, but failed to defeat him. Instead, he was defeated by Wang Yuyang. In the end, Mo Qingyun defeated Wang Yuyang with just a glance. Was the difference between him and Mo Qingyun really that great? No, impossible. He can't be stronger than me. Yang Jun's face was filled with excitement. He kept shaking his head and comforting himself. Wang Yuyang must have used up too much of his immortal spiritual energy when he fought with me. He must have reached the end of his immortal spiritual energy. That's why he was able to defeat him so easily. Yang Jun comforted himself. His complexion improved a lot. He said with a gloomy expression, "Kid, you may have defeated Wang Yuyang easily, but Anopheles Crab and the others are even stronger. It won't be that easy for you to defeat them." Under Yang Jun's cold gaze, Mo Qingyun glanced at Anopheles Crab and the others. He said in a deep voice, "Don't waste time. The four of you can come to me together." He wanted them to come at him together again. When they heard Mo Qingyun's words, Anopheles Crab and the others' expressions immediately darkened. They were even more displeased with Mo Qingyun. It would have been fine if it was only once, but Mo Qingyun said it again and again. He was looking down on them too much. But the more Mo Qingyun said it, the more they couldn't do it. The four of them would really join forces against Mo Qingyun. They were all half-step golden immortals. If they joined forces against an early-stage constellation cultivator, even if they won, it wouldn't be something to be proud of. Kid, don't be so arrogant. You're not worthy for the four of us to join forces against you. Kid, you don't need to provoke us like this. We won't join forces against you. Three young masters, please allow me to make the first move and test this brat's limits. When Anopheles Crab and the others expressed their anger, the girl called Hong Yuan spoke her mind. All right. When they heard Hong Yuan's plan, Anopheles Crab and the others didn't object. They nodded and agreed to Hong Yuan's suggestion. Hong Yuan's strength was not bad. She was only slightly weaker than them. It would be good to let Hong Yuan test Mo Qingyun. Then, Hong Yuan walked up to the fighting ring under the watchful eyes of the crowd. Looking at Hong Yuan, who walked up to the fighting ring, Mo Qingyun's expression was cold. He said to her in a low voice, "You're no match for me. Step down before I make my move." Don't look down on me," Hong Yuan shouted when she heard Mo Qingyun's words. She took out her long sword and slashed at Mo Qingyun. A surging sword radiance exploded from Hong Yuan's long sword and blasted toward Mo Qingyun in an instant. Looking at the sword radiance that was slashing toward him, Mo Qingyun's expression was cold. He immediately took out his crimson meteorite battle halberd. Mo Qingyun took out his crimson meteorite battle halberd and slashed at Hong Yuan, creating a dragon-shaped halberd radiance. Boom! The sword radiance and the halberd radiance collided and immediately created a loud sound that shook the heavens. It created a shocking spiritual energy storm. Under the sweeping of this spiritual energy storm, the sword radiance and the halberd radiance were instantly swallowed up and disappeared from everyone's sight. He blocked it. Hong Yuan's pretty face was immediately shocked when she saw that her all-out attack was easily neutralized by Mo Qingyun. The strength that Mo Qingyun displayed now seemed to be much stronger than what she had expected. After blocking Hong Yuan's attack, Mo Qingyun immediately moved and closed in on Hong Yuan. Traceless demon shadow, rushing thunderwind path. As Mo Qingyun moved, a terrifying power of wind and thunder formed around his body. What a strong power of wind and thunder. Under the cover of this power of wind and thunder, it has become difficult for me to even move my body. Hong Yuan was in the domain of wind and thunder. Her brows were tightly knitted and her heart was heavy to the extreme. Under the erosion of the power of wind and thunder, she could no longer divert her attention to block Mo Qingyun's attack. In action, sky, concealing finger. As Mo Qingyun charged towards Hong Yuan, he didn't hesitate to attack with a finger, blasting out a bolt of spiritual energy with a thunderous momentum. Soon, the aura of this spiritual power disappeared, and he couldn't even sense it anymore. It's gone. Hong Yuan's eyes widened when she realized that Mo Qingyun's immortal spiritual energy had disappeared from her perception. She had never seen such a strange ability before. Then, Hong Yuan's pretty eyes widened and she looked around nervously. Boom! However, before Hong Yuan could begin to defend herself, she was hit by an overbearing wave of immortal spiritual energy. Then, everyone saw Hong Yuan fly out and spit out blood, dyeing the front of her clothes red. Seeing Mo Qingyun's actions, Anopheles Crab and the others were shocked. They did not expect Mo Qingyun to be so ruthless. This guy is ruthless. He could even be so ruthless to a woman like Hong Yuan. Seeing Mo Qingyun injure Hong Yuan, Yang Jun's expression trembled and he felt a trace of fear towards Mo Qingyun. He was certain that if he had been the one fighting, his injuries would have been even worse. This Mr. Mo really treats everyone equally. He doesn't hold back at all. Li Jin could not help but sigh when he saw Hong Yuan's appearance. His opinion of Mo Qingyun had changed. Under everyone's shocked gazes, Mo Qingyun looked at Anopheles Crab and the others with an indifferent expression and said, "She is already lost. The three of you have nowhere to run. Come up and fight." Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Anopheles Crab and the others looked at each other and communicated with their eyes. Then, Anopheles Crab walked out and appeared on the battle stage in a few flashes. "Kid, how dare you injure Miss Hong Yuan? I will avenge her now." Anopheles Crab stood on the battle stage with an angry expression and said coldly to Mo Qingyun. Mo Qingyun did not take Anopheles Crab's words to heart and replied indifferently, "If you want to avenge her, then let's see if you have the ability." Chapter 1609. Demonic Vanishing Shadow. Lightning Wind Path. Mo Qingyun's figure flashed and disappeared from the spot, leaving behind a series of afterimages. Mo Qingyun arrived in front of Anopheles Crab in a few flashes and swept his scarlet meteorite battle halberd towards Anopheles Crab. As the scarlet meteorite battle halberd swung, waves of imposing halberd light erupted from the halberd. Then, the halberd light transformed into the shape of a dragon and bombarded Anopheles Crab, engulfing Anopheles Crab in an instant. God Art Dragon Crab Battle Armor. Facing the attack of the Dragon Shadow Halberd Light, Anopheles Crab didn't dare to be careless and immediately used a defensive God Art. Then, a surge of violent immortal spiritual energy gathered outside Anopheles Crab's body and formed a golden crab shadow. The moment the crab shadow formed, it rapidly shrunk and tightly wrapped around Anopheles Crab's body. "Break for me!" With the Dragon Crab battle armor covering his body, Anopheles Crab roared and wildly swung his fists. When Anopheles Crab swung his fists glowed brightly and formed two huge crab claws. Bang, bang, bang. Under the domineering impact of the claws, The halberd light was destroyed one after another, creating a series of loud noises. When Anopheles' crab destroyed the dragon shadow halberd light, waves of domineering spiritual energy storms spread out in front of him. Because Anopheles' crab was protected by the dragon crab battle armor, the spiritual energy storms didn't cause much damage to him. Oomph. Kid, this level of attack is not enough to hurt me. Anopheles' crab had defeated the dragon shadow halberd light. He had an arrogant expression on his face as he spoke. Mo Qingyun frowned slightly when he heard Anopheles' crab's words. He thought, I never thought that Anopheles' crab would have such an ability. With his current defense, he's probably comparable to an expert who has forged a golden body. Anopheles' crab is protected by the dragon crab battle armor. Even a sculpted avatar expert won't be able to break through his defenses. From the looks of it, that kid called Mo Qingyun probably can't do anything to Anopheles' crab. Of course, although that kid's divine ability is strange, it's still useless against Anopheles' crab. If that's the case, as time passes, that kid will probably be played to death by Anopheles' crab. Li Shan and the others sneered when they saw Anopheles' crab make a move. They took pleasure in his misfortune. In their opinion, Anopheles' crab, who had gone against a tortoise shell, had perfectly restrained Mo Qingyun. Anopheles' crab is indeed one of the top 3 super geniuses among the hundreds of tribes in the surrounding area. Li Jin sighed when he saw Anopheles' crab's display of strength. He affirmed Anopheles' crab's talent and said, given Mr. Mo's cultivation base, it would be pretty good if he could tie with Anopheles' crab. Looks like we've made things too difficult for him this time. Yeah, given Anopheles' crab's strength, even if Mr. Mo loses to him, it wouldn't be embarrassing. An elder from Snowflake couldn't help but sigh when he heard Li Jin's words. Gulanshan frowned slightly when he heard what Li Jin and the others said. He was faintly displeased. What a joke. Given Mo Qingyun's terrifying methods and strength, how could he not be a match for Anopheles' crab and the others? Don't joke around. If Mo Qingyun unleashed his might, even he, Gulanshan, would feel afraid, let alone these brats. Of course, although Gulanshan disdained Li Jin and the others in his heart, he didn't argue with them. Anopheles' crab's divine ability is even stronger than it was 5 years ago. Even I'm no match for him now. After witnessing Anopheles' crab's defensive power, Yang Jun's expression dimmed a little, as if he had been dealt a blow. Just as Yang Jun's expression dimmed, he saw Mo Qingyun in front of him, and his expression darkened again. He said angrily, Kid, even if you beat Wang Yiyang and Han Yuan, when you lose to Anopheles' crab later, you'll only have 2 wins. That's not as many wins as I have. At this moment, Yang Jun's thoughts could be said to be extremely shameless. He didn't even think about how Feng Liuqiang and the other strength could compare to Anopheles' crab and the others. Under everyone's gaze, Mo Qingyun looked indifferently at Anopheles' crab and said, this Anopheles' crab's defensive power is amazing. He's perfect as a live target. In the next fight, I can go all out. If the people around him knew about Mo Qingyun's thoughts, they would probably be depressed to death. After all this time, Mo Qingyun had not used his full strength because he was worried that he would kill Anopheles' crab. With a plan in mind, Mo Qingyun increased his battle prowess, making his attack sharper. At the same time, Mo Qingyun's movement speed also increased by a lot, dazzling everyone's eyes. So fast. Seeing Mo Qingyun's speed, Anopheles' crab was immediately shocked. He exclaimed, Mo Qingyun's speed earlier wasn't his limit. This discovery truly shocked Anopheles' crab. Although he was skilled in defense, he was clearly much weaker in terms of agility and movement. Just now, Mo Qingyun's speed was already slightly faster than his, but this was still not Mo Qingyun's limit. As such, with Mo Qingyun moving at full speed, he probably wouldn't even be able to touch Mo Qingyun's clothes. If he couldn't even touch Mo Qingyun, how could he fight Mo Qingyun? Just as Anopheles' crab was panicking, Mo Qingyun's attacks came whistling over, attacking him from all directions. Faced with Mo Qingyun's storm-like attacks, Anopheles crab immediately became flustered and became Mo Qingyun's living target. Seeing this scene, the surrounding people were all stunned. This situation was far too different from what they had imagined. With Mo Qingyun's early-stage constellation cultivation, facing Anopheles crab's abnormal strength, wouldn't he be crushed? How can this be? How can that kid's movement speed be so fast? In terms of movement speed alone, I'm afraid even Lishan might not be able to beat him. He can only barely be on par with him. It looks like we underestimated him before. This kid isn't easy to deal with. Although this kid's movement speed is fast, he can't break through Anopheles crab's defense. No matter how fast he is, it's useless. That's right. If he wants to maintain his extreme speed, he'll definitely use up a lot of immortal spiritual force. I like to see how long he can last. After a brief moment of surprise, everyone revealed playful smiles, waiting to see Mo Qingyun's spiritual force run out. At this moment, Li Jin and the others had the same reaction when they saw Mo Qingyun's performance. So fast. Even a great golden body powerhouse can't move this fast, right? No wonder Li Kun said that Mr. Mo could easily kill the golden rock black-wind pig, which was at the sculpted golden body stage. It looks like Mr. Mo might still have a chance to win the battle against Anopheles crab. Seeing Mo Qingyun's astonishing performance, Li Jin and the others were shocked at first, then they began to look forward to it. Originally, they had no hope of winning, but now their hopes were rekindled. No, impossible. This isn't a speed that a constellation can possess. Seeing Mo Qingyun's speed, Yang Jun's expression was agitated. He couldn't accept this reality. Originally, in his eyes, Mo Qingyun was just a foppish rich kid who was full of himself and only knew how to put on airs. He didn't expect that Mo Qingyun's cultivation talent and combat strength were not things that he, Yang Jun, could compare to. This huge psychological gap made him feel extremely uncomfortable. No matter what, he, Yang Jun, was a genius whose talent ranked among the top among the hundreds of tribes in the surrounding area. Now, one after another, his skills were inferior to others. This was something that he couldn't accept. Mr. Mo, you're amazing. Roast that crab. Seeing Mo Qingyun's display of strength, Xiong Tian and Xiong Di were overjoyed and shouted excitedly. Hearing Xiong Tian and Xiong Di's words, Mo Qingyun smiled faintly. He knew that the two of them should be fine. All right, I'll roast him later. Mo Qingyun smiled faintly at Xiong Tian and Xiong Di. His attacks were even more overbearing, suppressing Anopheles crab even more. Now, Anopheles crab had become a living target under Mo Qingyun's rapid attacks. He had no chance to resist at all. Kid, if you're so good, fight me head-on. What's this guerrilla warfare? Under Mo Qingyun's crazy attacks, Anopheles crab's expression was ferocious as he roared furiously at Mo Qingyun. Now, he was almost going crazy. Even with his terrifying defense and impenetrable body, he could only cry when he met someone who didn't want to fight head-on. Fight head-on. Hearing Anopheles crab's words, Mo Qingyun frowned slightly. He pondered and said, in terms of physical strength, I don't lose to Anopheles crab. I can fight him head-on and test my physical strength. After thinking about it, Mo Qingyun smiled faintly. He immediately made a decision and said, since you said so, I'll fight you head-on. After Mo Qingyun finished speaking, he stopped and looked at Anopheles crab with a faint smile. Seeing Mo Qingyun's performance, everyone's eyes widened. They couldn't believe what they were seeing. Was Mo Qingyun going to give up his strength and use his weakness to fight Anopheles crab's strength? Was there really such a stupid person in the world? Mr. Mo, don't be impulsive. As long as you continue to fight Anopheles crab, you will definitely be able to defeat him. Seeing Mo Qingyun's performance, Li Jin showed an anxious expression and hurriedly tried to persuade Mo Qingyun. In his opinion, Mo Qingyun's decision was a little too reckless. Kid, you're asking for it. You'll pay a painful price for acting tough later. Seeing that Mo Qingyun was going to fight Anopheles crab head-on, Yang Jun immediately sneered and gloated. Chapter 16:10. As soon as Mo Qingyun finished speaking, he charged towards Anopheles' crab. He raised his hand and punched towards Anopheles' crab. Mo Qingyun punched out. Spiritual power immediately surged on his fist, and it bloomed with a dazzling light. Seeing Mo Qingyun's action, everyone was shocked. They didn't expect him to really want to fight Anopheles' crab. "You're courting death." Seeing Mo Qingyun charging towards him, Anopheles' crab's expression turned cold. A cold light flashed in his eyes. In terms of speed, he was indeed not as fast as Mo Qingyun. However, in a head-on battle, Anopheles' crab had never been afraid of anyone. Theurgy, dragon crab, overturning the sea. Anopheles' crab roared angrily. He leaped into the air and punched towards Mo Qingyun. As Anopheles' crab punched out, immortal spiritual energy madly gathered outside his body, turning into dark blue waves. Anopheles' crab stepped on the dark blue waves. Like a dragon god descending to the mortal world, he charged towards Mo Qingyun. Immediately, Mo Qingyun's fist and Anopheles' crab's fist collided violently. Bang! As soon as they collided, an earth-shattering sound rang out, creating a terrifying spiritual energy storm. The spiritual energy storm began to spread from Mo Qingyun's fist to the surroundings. In the blink of an eye, it engulfed Mo Qingyun and Anopheles' crab. Seeing this scene, everyone was shocked. They wanted to know how Mo Qingyun and Anopheles' crab were after being engulfed by the spiritual energy storm. What a strong physical body. This little one's physical strength is actually slightly stronger than mine. As soon as he collided with Mo Qingyun, Anopheles' crab's heart trembled. He couldn't help but widen his eyes. Not only did a mere Constellation Realm cultivator possess a speed comparable to a Golden Immortal Realm cultivator, but he also possessed a physical body comparable to a Golden Immortal Realm cultivator. This was too terrifying. If he hadn't seen it with his own eyes, even if Anopheles' crab was beaten to death, he wouldn't have believed that such a monster existed. Awesome. After colliding with Anopheles' crab's fist, Mo Qingyun felt a sense of heroism. He let out a carefree roar. Just a simple collision of fists made him feel a strong fondness for this primitive fighting style. Again, Mo Qingyun shouted loudly and ignored the erosion of the spiritual energy storm around him, and punched at Anopheles' crab once again. Suddenly, a shocking amount of immortal spiritual energy gathered on Mo Qingyun's fist and turned into a huge fist radiance. In the face of Mo Qingyun's punch, Anopheles' crab immediately swung his fist to block Mo Qingyun's overbearing punch. Bang! Another head-on collision. An earth-shattering sound was heard, and a terrifying spiritual energy storm was formed. This spiritual energy storm formed and dispersed the spiritual energy storm in front of it. It then attacked Mo Qingyun and Anopheles' crab. Under the impact of the spiritual energy storm, Mo Qingyun didn't retreat at all. He continued to attack Anopheles' crab with his fists. Immediately, everyone saw two figures flashing rapidly in the spiritual energy storm. As for which one was Mo Qingyun and which one was Anopheles' crab, no one knew. Bang, bang, bang. As Mo Qingyun and Anopheles' crab continued to exchange blows, a series of loud noises came from midair. Looking at the battle scene in front of them, everyone's eyes widened. Their hearts were in their throats. This kid is too abnormal. He's going head-to-head with Anopheles' crab, and he's not at a disadvantage at all. Is this the strength of someone from a constellation position? Why is the gap between us so big when we're at the same level? If this kid uses his speed to his advantage, Anopheles' crab situation will be even worse. If I didn't see it with my own eyes, I wouldn't believe that there's such a monster in this world. Looking at Mo Qingyun's battle strength, Feng Luchong and the others were shocked. They were completely convinced by Mo Qingyun. In their opinion, if they were to fight Mo Qingyun, they wouldn't even be able to take one blow from Mo Qingyun. I didn't expect Mr. Mo to have such a terrifying physical body apart from his amazing movement technique. How'd he do it? Looking at Mo Qingyun's performance, Li Jin was shocked. He couldn't believe it. Under normal circumstances, if someone was proficient in the cultivation of movement techniques, they wouldn't be good at the cultivation of their physical body. But Mo Qingyun's comprehensive development was a little too frightening. In this way, no one in the same level could be his opponent. No, impossible. Anopheles Crab must be going easy on him. Looking at Mo Qingyun's shocking performance, Feng Jun's eyes widened. He kept shouting in his heart, "A beginner constellation position person can't have such a strong physical body. Mr. Mo is so strong. Maybe he can really take on all of them alone." Looking at Mo Qingyun's performance, Xiong Tian and Xiong Di were full of admiration. They knew that Mo Qingyun was very strong, but it was still beyond their expectations to be this strong. While everyone was still in shock, they saw a figure fly out of the spiritual energy storm. Seeing the figure that flew out, everyone's faces were filled with shock, and they were stunned on the spot. The figure that flew out was Anopheles Crab, who was famous for his strong physical body. He had actually lost to Mo Qingyun in a head-on clash of physical strength. This was too surprising for everyone. In this way, how strong was Mo Qingyun's physical body? What a pity. I was just getting excited, and you collapsed because your spiritual energy couldn't withstand it. Looking at Anopheles Crab, who was sent flying by him, Mo Qingyun looked disappointed. He was very dissatisfied with Anopheles Crab's combat strength. Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, everyone smiled bitterly. They didn't know what to say. Could this be blamed on Anopheles Crab? The strength that Anopheles Crab displayed just now was clearly very strong. Okay? In the end, he was still easily defeated by you. This could only mean that your strength was too abnormal. Anopheles Crab, how are you? Li Shan and Li Shan came to Anopheles Crab's side. With nervous expressions, they asked about Anopheles Crab's situation. The two of them were on par with Anopheles Crab. For Mo Qingyun to be able to beat Anopheles Crab so miserably, the two of them were in a bad situation. It's okay. I just overdrew my spiritual energy. Anopheles Crab's face was pale. He replied weakly, "Be careful when you fight with him later. His physical body is very terrifying. It's almost comparable to a high-grade immortal artifact. It's even more terrifying than a great golden body expert's physical body. A physical body comparable to a high-grade immortal artifact. Was he still human? He was completely a human-shaped weapon." Hearing Anopheles Crab's words, Li Shan and the others were shocked. A storm was set off in their hearts. They really could not imagine that a person's physical strength could be cultivated to such a level. "Both of you, come at me together." Looking away from Anopheles Crab, Mo Qingyun urged Li Shan and Tai Bibi. Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Li Shan and Tai Bibi exchanged a look and walked toward Mo Qingyun together. The current situation did not allow them to consider their reputation. If they did not join forces, they would only be killed by Mo Qingyun. Two half-step golden immortal experts joining forces to deal with a person from the same constellation. Although it was a little embarrassing, it was still better than being defeated by Mo Qingyun. Soon, Li Shan and Tai Bibi arrived in front of Mo Qingyun and confronted Mo Qingyun in midair. "Boy, although your strength is very strong, you think you are infallible if you want to fight two people by yourself. Humph. If I'm not wrong, when you fought Anopheles Crab just now, I'm afraid that your spiritual energy is almost exhausted." Looking at Mo Qingyun in front of them, Tai Bibi and Tai Bibi were nervous. They wanted to test Mo Qingyun's strength. Hearing Tai Bibi and Tai Bibi's words, Mo Qingyun smiled faintly and said, "You two don't need to test me. If you want to know whether I'm pretending or not, just come and fight with me." Demonic Shadow, Traceless, Lightning Wind Path. After Mo Qingyun finished speaking, he did not hesitate and charged toward Tai Bibi and Tai Bibi. Mo Qingyun's body flashed and turned into a series of afterimages, releasing the power of wind and lightning. What a fast speed. It's even faster than when it was fighting the heavenly crab mosquito. Seeing Mo Qingyun's speed, Li Shan was shocked. His fear of Mo Qingyun deepened. It turned out that Mo Qingyun had held back a part of his strength in the fight just now. Could it be that he didn't use all of his strength in the fight with Li Shan? Thinking of this possibility, Tai Bibi's expression trembled and his body unconsciously trembled. If that was the case, then Mo Qingyun was too terrifying. I'll hold him back. You wait for an opportunity to sneak attack him, Li Shan said to Tai Baichong when he saw Mo Qingyun approaching at high speed. Then, he charged towards Mo Qingyun. Theurgy, Dragon Mosquito, escape. As Li Shan's figure flashed, a pair of wings condensed on his back and flapped rapidly. Every time the wings flapped, Li Shan's body moved a certain distance, as if it was an ability to pass through space. With the support of this ability, Li Shan's speed was barely faster than Mo Qingyun's. Theurgy, Sea Swallowing Flood Dragon. Arriving in front of Mo Qingyun, Li Shan roared and erupted with immortal spiritual energy. As soon as the immortal spiritual energy appeared, it turned into a huge flood dragon shadow and bit at Mo Qingyun. Demonic Fist, Shattering Star River. Facing Li Shan's attack, Mo Qingyun did not flinch and directly punched at the flood dragon shadow. A terrifying black spiritual energy gathered on Mo Qingyun's fist and condensed into a terrifying fist shadow. The huge fist shadow emitted a demonic aura and smashed toward the flood dragon shadow in an unstoppable manner. Pucci. Under the domineering impact of the fist shadow, the flood dragon shadow was instantly smashed into pieces and had no resistance at all. After destroying the flood dragon shadow, the fist shadow's attack did not decrease and continued to attack Li Shan. In an instant, it hit Li Shan's chest. Pucci. Being hit by the fist shadow, Li Shan was immediately sent flying. He spat out blood, and his face was pale. Seeing this scene, everyone's eyes widened. They couldn't believe that this was real. In just a single exchange, Mo Qingyun forcefully blasted Li Shan flying. This was truly too freakish. Mo Qingyun's figure did not stop after sending Li Shan flying. He immediately rushed toward Tai Bibi and said, "Since he has been defeated, it's your turn now." Chapter 16:11. Superpower, Iron Dragon True Body. Facing Mo Qingyun's attack, Tai Bijue did not dare to hold back and immediately used his natal superpower. Following that, Tai Bijue's body began to grow. In the blink of an eye, he became several feet tall. As Tai Bijue's body grew bigger, the aura he exuded also became much stronger. Tai Bijue used his natal superpower as soon as they started fighting. It seems like he's very afraid of Mo Qingyun. Didn't you see how Li Shan was sent flying by Mo Qingyun in just one exchange? Tai Bijue has to use his full strength. Who is this Mo Qingyun? His strength is actually so terrifying. I'm also very curious about this. With Snowflake's foundation, how could they invite such a genius? Watching Mo Qingyun fight with Tai Bijue, everyone was curious. They wanted to know who Mo Qingyun was. When Tai Bijue used his natal superpower, Li Shan, who had been sent flying by Mo Qingyun, suddenly had his aura increase greatly. Seeing Li Shan's aura increase greatly, everyone was shocked by Li Shan's actions. Li Shan was breaking through. Just now, Mo Qingyun's full strength attack had pushed him to break through to the Golden Immortal stage. If Li Shan makes a breakthrough in his cultivation and joins the battle again, Mo Qingyun will be in a bad situation. Seeing Li Shan's performance, everyone sighed and could not help but worry for Mo Qingyun. "Kid, although you're very strong, it won't be that easy to defeat me." Seeing that Li Shan was about to break through, Tai Bijue sneered and swung his dragon claw at Mo Qingyun's head. In the face of Li Shan's attack, Mo Qingyun did not retreat. Instead, he charged at Tai Bijue. Bang! Then, everyone saw Mo Qingyun's fist hit Tai Bijue's dragon claw. When Mo Qingyun's fist hit Tai Bijue's claw, a shocking force exploded and forced Tai Bijue back. Crack! As Tai Biqiang retreated, a crisp sound rang out from his dragon claw. The bones in his dragon claw were broken. Ah, my hand! Mo Qingyun's fist caused the bones in his palm to break, and Tai Bijue could not help but cry out in pain. Immediately, Tai Bijue hurriedly channeled his immortal spiritual power to heal his hand. Mo Qingyun didn't retreat after forcing Tai Bijue back with a punch. He continued to charge at Tai Bijue. "Kid, don't go too far." Bijue's of Heaven's hand, Bijue, he shouted, eyes, he's. With the previous experience, Tai Bijue was more cautious this time and didn't dare to meet force with Mo Qingyun. However, in the face of Mo Qingyun's tyrannical attacks, Tai Biqiang was reduced to being beaten up. But Tai Bijue did not care. What he needed to do now was to stall for time as much as possible. Once Li Shan breaks through, I can join forces with him to deal with Mo Qingyun. Seeing Li Shan's actions, Tai Bijue decided not to fight with Mo Qingyun for the time being. Under Tai Bijue's insistence, Li Shan finally broke through. Phew! Seeing Li Shan break through, Tai Bijue heaved a sigh of relief. His expression relaxed. "Kid, thank you for your attack just now. It helped me break through to the Golden Immortal stage." When Li Shan's cultivation broke through to the Golden Immortal stage, he revealed a sinister smile and rushed toward Mo Qingyun. He said ferociously, "In order to thank you for helping me break through, I will return the favor to you." As soon as Li Shan finished speaking, his body turned into a shadow and disappeared in the blink of an eye. When Li Shan reappeared, he was already in front of Mo Qingyun. He slammed his palm toward Mo Qingyun. Li Shan's attack was obviously much stronger than before. It was on a completely different level. As Li Shan joined the battle, the pressure on Tai Bijue was greatly reduced. He could finally relax. In his opinion, with Li Shan's current strength and his help, it should not be difficult to defeat Mo Qingyun. So strong. Li Shan's cultivation has broken through to the Golden Immortal stage. His strength has increased by at least 10 times. Seeing the power of Li Shan's attack, Mo Qingyun's expression changed. There was a hint of fear in his eyes. Li Shan's cultivation had broken through to the Golden Immortal stage. He was a completely different person. Of course, although Mo Qingyun was shocked, he did not show any signs of panic. Demonic fist, shattering the Milky Way, Mo Qingyun roared angrily. He raised his hand and punched toward Li Shan. A shocking aura erupted. A terrifying immortal spiritual power, carrying a shocking demonic power, quickly condensed into the shadow of the fist. When the shadow of the fist was formed, it smashed into Li Shan's palm with a thunderous force. Bang! A loud sound was heard. It was mixed with a terrifying wave of spiritual power that swept toward the surroundings. Facing this wave of spiritual power, Mo Qingyun hurriedly retreated. He did not want to be caught in the wave of spiritual power. After repelling Mo Qingyun with one palm, Li Shan's expression was solemn. He said to Tai Bijue, I will deal with Mo Qingyun now. You should also break through to the next stage. Later, we will deal with Mo Qingyun together." Okay. Hearing Li Shan's words, Tai Bijue hesitated for a moment before accepting Li Shan's suggestion. Immediately, Tai Bijue withdrew from the battle and went to the side to break through to the next stage. His situation was the same as Li Shan's. He had reached the limit of the true immortal stage and was only one step away from the golden immortal stage. As long as he wanted to, he could break through to the golden immortal stage at any time. Seeing that Tai Bijue was preparing to break through to the next stage, the surrounding people were shocked. They were shocked by Tai Bijue's actions. They did not expect that in order to deal with Mo Qingyun, he would not hesitate to break through to the golden immortal stage and stop accumulating his foundation. From this, it could be seen just how much hatred he had for Mo Qingyun in his heart. Break through to the golden immortal stage? Seeing Tai Bijue and Tai Bijue's actions, Anopheles Crab, who was recuperating, frowned slightly and revealed a thoughtful and hesitant expression. After a short moment of thought and hesitation, Anopheles Crab revealed a dark expression and said in a deep voice, "Boy, since you were so arrogant, I will play with you later. I hope you won't be afraid to accept." Anopheles Crab muttered to himself. He did not hesitate and immediately began to break through to the next stage. As Anopheles Crab began to break through to the next stage, spiritual power gathered around him and emitted a shocking aura. Anopheles Crab was also about to break through to the next stage. Sensing Anopheles Crab's aura, the surrounding people could not help but look at him, and each of them revealed a surprised expression. They did not expect that in such a short time, Anopheles Crab and the other two were about to break through to the next stage. Anopheles Crab is also about to break through to the next stage. Is he not going to accumulate the foundation of the true immortal stage? Seeing the actions of Anopheles Crab and the other two, Yang Jun, who had just finished recuperating, revealed a surprised expression and said, "It seems that the three of them are going all out in order to deal with Mo Qingyun." Guessing the intentions of Anopheles Crab and the other two, Yang Jun revealed an envious and jealous expression as he looked at Mo Qingyun, who was fighting with Li Shan. They were all helpers invited by the Snowflake Silver-Haired Deer clan. The difference between him and Mo Qingyun was not small at all. Mo Qingyun, didn't you want to find someone to test your strength? Later, I will also fight with you. You won't refuse, right? Looking at Mo Qingyun, who was fighting with Li Shan, Yang Jun revealed a cunning expression and immediately had a plan in his heart. Immediately, Yang Jun, like Anopheles Crab and the other two, prepared to break through to the golden immortal stage. Yang Jun was also about to break through. Sensing the fluctuations of Yang Jun's aura, everyone was shocked and felt that their brains were not enough to process it. What was going on today? The top talents of the hundreds of tribes in the surrounding area had all broken through to the next stage. Could it be that today was a good day to break through to the next stage? Kid, you are finished. When Tai Biqiang and the others break through to the next stage, you'll be beaten up by us. Seeing the actions of Tai Biqiang and the others, Li Shan revealed a smug sneer, as if his scheme was about to succeed. Hearing Li Shan's words, Mo Qingyun glanced at Tai Biqiang and the others and smiled indifferently. Since that is the case, why don't the two of us stop fighting for now and wait for them to break through to the next stage before you all attack together? What? You want to wait for Tai Biqiang and the others to break through to the next stage so that you can challenge all of us? Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Li Shan's eyes widened. He thought that he had misheard. Mo Qingyun's current actions were too shocking. He was too confident in himself. Mr. Mo, don't be rash. Li Shan and the other two are very talented. Their cultivation will definitely increase greatly after they break through to the next stage. It is too dangerous for you to fight all of them alone. When Li Jin heard Mo Qingyun's plan, his expression immediately tensed up, and he hurriedly reminded Mo Qingyun. In his opinion, Mo Qingyun's actions were too risky. But before Mo Qingyun could respond to Li Jin, Li Shan smiled coldly and mocked Mo Qingyun. Kid, since you have said it, don't regret it. Okay, Mo Qingyun nodded. Without saying anything more to Li Shan, he turned around and flew toward Li General, seeing Mo Qingyun coming toward him. Li Jin looked disappointed and complained, "Mr. Mo, since you can easily defeat Li Shan, why did you wait for Tai Biqiang and the others to break through to challenge all of them? Aren't you joking with your own life?" Short-sighted, what do you know? Hearing Li Jin's complaint, Gu Lanshan looked displeased. He snorted and said, "The young lord fought with Li Shan and the others just to test his combat strength. They were not strong enough just now, so Master naturally had to wait for them to break through to the next stage." Hearing Gu Lanshan's words, Li Jin and the others were shocked. They did not know whether to laugh or cry. If Li Shan and the others knew what Mo Qingyun was really thinking, they would probably cry, but have no tears. They were trying their best to improve their strength, but Mo Qingyun only treated them as sparring partners. Although Mo Qingyun and the others stopped fighting temporarily, no one showed any dissatisfaction. On the contrary, when they thought about how Mo Qingyun was going to fight several golden immortal powerhouses on his own later, they were all looking forward to it. Chapter 16:12. Because Tai Biju and the others were only one step away from the golden immortal stage. Therefore, it did not take long for them to make a breakthrough in their cultivation. About an hour later, Tai Biju's cultivation had broken through, and he had successfully entered the golden immortal stage. As Tai Biju's cultivation broke through, the aura he exuded was obviously much stronger than before. Now, around Tai Biju, there were some faint flames that danced, preventing others from getting too close to him. Seeing this scene, everyone's expression immediately became tense. They could not help but worry for Mo Qingyun. The stronger Tai Biju and the others were, the worse Mo Qingyun's situation would be. Boom, boom! Just as Tai Biju's cultivation broke through, Anopheles' crab and Yongjun's cultivation broke through as well. Immediately, Anopheles' crab and Yongjun's aura increased several times. Anopheles' crab's cultivation had broken through to the golden immortal stage. He withdrew from his cultivation and looked coldly at Mo Qingyun. He said, Mo Qingyun, I remember you said that you wanted to challenge all of us alone. Now, do you still dare? Hearing Anopheles' crab's words, Mo Qingyun's expression froze for a moment. He immediately understood what he was thinking. He smiled faintly and said, From what you've said, it seems that you want to join the battle between me and them. What? You don't dare? Hearing Mo Qingyun's surprised tone, Anopheles' crab deliberately raised his head and provoked Mo Qingyun. Don't dare? Mo Qingyun smiled faintly and did not show any fear. He said calmly, Since you want to join in, then come with them. You agree? Hearing Mo Qingyun's straightforward answer, Anopheles' crab was shocked. He was extremely surprised. Originally, he thought that if he wanted to join the battle, Mo Qingyun would reject him. He didn't expect Mo Qingyun to be so straightforward. Mo Qingyun actually agreed to let Anopheles' crab join the battle again. Tai Biju and the other two were also surprised. They unconsciously exchanged glances, thinking that they had misheard. This was a powerhouse at the golden celestial stage. If he were to join the battle, it would most likely affect the final outcome. Was Mo Qingyun not afraid at all? Mr. Gu, isn't it too risky for Mr. Mo to do this now? Seeing Mo Qingyun's actions, Li Jin and the others tensed up and unconsciously asked Gu Lanshan. Hearing Li Jin's question, Gu Lanshan shook his head indifferently and said, Don't worry. Since Master has made such a decision, he must have his own confidence. Gu Lanshan was very clear about Mo Qingyun's strength and means. Anopheles' crab and the others could not hurt him. Of course, as for Mo Qingyun's specific situation, Gu Lanshan did not say much. Seeing that Gu Lanshan was not worried at all, Li Jin and the others relaxed a little, but they were still a little worried. Anopheles' crab took a step forward and exploded with the power of a dragon horse. A huge crab shadow formed outside his body. When the crab shadow was formed, Anopheles' crab punched forward to meet the black shadow of the fist. Bang! Anopheles' crab's fist collided with the black shadow of the fist. It exploded with a loud bang and produced a terrifying wave of spiritual energy. Crack, crack, crack! Under the impact of the spiritual energy wave, the crab shadow outside Anopheles' crab's body began to shatter, producing a crisp sound. Not long after, the crab shadow outside Anopheles' crab's body completely disintegrated. Fortunately, although the crab shadow outside Anopheles' crab's body disintegrated under the impact of the spiritual energy wave, but he also successfully blocked Mo Qingyun's fist and resolved the crisis in front of Lishan. Anopheles' crab, are you okay? Seeing Anopheles' crab block Mo Qingyun's fist, Lishan revealed a nervous expression and immediately asked about Anopheles' crab's situation. Hearing Lishan's words of concern, Anopheles' crab revealed a serious expression and said in a deep voice, I'm fine. This brat's strength is strange and powerful. We can't fight him head-on. Li Shan, you specialize in defense. You will be responsible for protecting everyone. Li Shan, your movement speed is very fast. You will be responsible for restraining Emo Qingyun. Yang Jun, Tai Biji, you guys will be in charge of frontal attacks. Seeing Emo Qingyun's strength, Li Shan and the other three immediately discussed their strategy to deal with Emo Qingyun. Hearing Li Jin and his companion's words, Emo Qingyun smiled faintly and didn't say anything else. Clan leaders, since the four-clan competition is over, I'll take my leave first. After putting away the arcane key, Emo Qingyun said goodbye to the Wind Power Dweller and his companions. He then nodded to Li Jin and said, Clan leader Li Jin, let's go. After Emo Qingyun finished speaking, he no longer paid any attention to the Wind Power Dweller and his companions. He turned around and flew into the distance. Emo Qingyun didn't like the Wind Power Dweller and his companions very much. These guys were too scheming. In contrast, Li Jin was much more straightforward and upright. He had his own principles when doing things. Seeing Emo Qingyun fly into the distance, Li Jin didn't say much to the Wind Power Dweller and his companions. He hurriedly chased after Emo Qingyun. This guy Li Jin, I don't know what kind of King luck he has. He actually managed to hook up with Emo Qingyun. Sigh. From now on, I'm afraid Snowflake is going to rise. In the future, it's better for us to maintain a good relationship with Snowflake. Seeing Li Jin leave with Emo Qingyun, the Wind Power Dweller and his companions were envious. They were somewhat in awe of Snowflake. They were very clear that with Emo Qingyun's powerful background and identity, if he was willing to help Snowflake, Snowflake's rise would be unstoppable. Under the gaze of the Wind Power Dweller and his companions, Emo Qingyun and his companions entered the demonic beast carriage and started their journey back to Snowflake. Mr. Mo, thank you so much for this time. You saved our clan's face. Inside the demonic beast carriage, Li Jin sat across from Emo Qingyun. He looked at Emo Qingyun with gratitude. Clan leader Li Jin, please don't say that. Hearing Li Jin's words of gratitude, Emo Qingyun smiled faintly and waved his hand. His expression was somewhat ashamed as he said, Originally, I was here to help you protect the arcane key. In the end, you gave the arcane key to me. I'm really ashamed to accept this. Mr. Emo, you're wrong. Hearing Emo Qingyun's words, Li Jin smiled bitterly. He shook his head and explained, This old man gave the arcane key to you for a bit of selfishness. I have some other plans. Oh, tell me about it. Emo Qingyun's face was full of curiosity. He nodded at Li General since he had already said it. Li Jin no longer hid it from Emo Qingyun. He said truthfully, Mr. Mo, you don't know. With Snowflake's strength, the arcane key in our hands is actually a hot potato. Emo Qingyun nodded. He didn't disagree with Li Jin's words. Since ancient times, it was very common for people to be in trouble because of their wealth. With Snowflake's strength, with a treasure like the arcane key in their hands, it would indeed make other people jealous and covet it. Under normal circumstances, if the arcane key was still in Snowflake's possession, Wind Power Dweller and the others definitely wouldn't let it go. Li Jin roughly guessed what Wind Power Dweller and the others were thinking. He then thanked Emo Qingyun. Just now, I gave the arcane key to you in front of them. I've really given you a hot potato. Of course, with Emo Qingyun's identity and background, Wind Power Dweller and the others wouldn't dare to have any bad intentions. Chief Li Jin, thank you for your honesty. After hearing Li Jin's words, Emo Qingyun's impression of him improved a little. He promised, Don't worry, if Snowflake is in trouble in the future, as long as it's within my power, I won't stand by and do nothing. As soon as Emo Qingyun finished speaking, He took out a jade talisman and handed it to Li Jin. Chief Li Jin, this is a communication jade talisman. It contains a soul imprint of mine. If you're in trouble, you can send me a signal through it. Thank you, Mr. Mo. After receiving the communication jade talisman from Mo Qingyun, Li Jin's face immediately lit up with ecstasy. He hurriedly thanked Mo Qingyun. To him, this was a huge gain. An arcane key that wasn't very useful and had hidden dangers was exchanged for a promise from Mo Qingyun. This was a very profitable transaction. In this way, it was a win-win situation for Mo Qingyun and Li General. Both of them obtained the benefits they needed. After the competition between the four races, Mo Qingyun and Li Jin's relationship had unknowingly become closer. After this, everyone's conversation became much more natural. During this time, Li Jin told Mo Qingyun a little about Snowflake, as well as a few rumors about the Tian'an continent. From Li Jin's conversation, Mo Qingyun learned a little more about the Tian'an continent. He checked his cultivation progress again, and then left the five-directional pagoda. Coming out of the five-directional pagoda and coming to Gulanshan's side, Mo Qingyun looked around and said, "Let's find a city to settle down first and gather some information." Mo Qingyun instructed Gulanshan, and then he flew forward to find a place to settle down. A few hours later, under Mo Qingyun and the other man's search, they arrived before a city. Fantasy City. The three words on the city gate came into Mo Qingyun's sight. Mo Qingyun took a quick glance at the Spirit Illusion City. His footsteps did not stop as he walked straight into the city. The Fantasy City was not big, only the size of the Eternal South Immortal Palace. There were all kinds of people coming and going inside. Honey Ring Restaurant. After walking in the city for a while, Mo Qingyun walked into a restaurant and prepared to rest for a while. Entering the Honey Ring Restaurant, Mo Qingyun habitually found a seat by the window and sat down. Have you heard? The Miss of the Water Illusion lineage, Long Hanyan, is getting married. I heard that Miss Hanyan is a heavenly beauty and the #1 beauty in the 10 great fantasy cities. I heard that the young master who married Miss Han Yin also has an extraordinary background. His name is Qin Gu, and he's the young lord of the Fiery Dragon Corpse clan. He's only 1,000 years old, and he's already a golden immortal. Of course, the Fiery Dragon Corpse clan was once a great clan in the primordial antiquity, and they once had a grand unity, mystic immortal. Mo Qingyun had just sat down, and the chatter of the surrounding guests entered his ears. Long Hanyan? Could be Hanyan? Hearing these people's conversation, Mo Qingyun's expression changed, and his emotions became agitated. Seeing the change in Mo Qingyun's expression, Gulanshan frowned and asked with a concerned expression, "Master, what's wrong?" "Nothing." Hearing Gulanshan's question, Mo Qingyun's expression changed, and he shook his head at him. After Gulanshan's question, Mo Qingyun's emotions calmed down, and he realized that he had lost his composure just now. This should be the so-called confusion caused by concern. After calming his emotions, Mo Qingyun put on a solemn expression and continued to listen to the conversations of the people around him. Unfortunately, they didn't discuss about the matter regarding that Miss Han Yin anymore. Mo Qingyun was very disappointed about this, but he did not go over to ask. Since he had news about Miss Han Yin, it would not be too late to slowly ask later. There was no need to rush. The Mihuan restaurant was very efficient, and in a short while, Mo Qingyun's food and wine were served. As the food and wine were served, Mo Qingyun ate while listening to the conversations of the people around him. Lula, lula, lula. After Mo Qingyun drank for a while, a burst of festive music entered his ears.